Hey, what it do?
Ahoy!
What's up? Good
I
Thursday.
love
How's it
when
going?
we're getting ready to go on the air and all I hear from Rob is,
Well,
now, were you invoking the Lord, or was that more of a frustrated sort of God?
first of all, let me just state, I love this open. It's my favorite open.
Yeah, it's good.
That we have.
Yeah.
Jack White. And,
And the greatness that is Ron Swanson.
well, I was just, my screens went black and it was just an Odyssey Station moment yet again. But
it happens.
we're up and running. We're hot. We're on. So, yeah, good Thursday. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, nice, wet Pacific Northwest day.
Yeah, it's crappy out
Yeah,
there.
one of those. Driving home last night, it's a little. That's the only time where I don't like living here is those 7:30. It's beyond pitch black, and there's like that haze on the road where it like makes the lines hard to see, and the rain, like the wipers don't keep up, and it just driving home in that is just one of those. You're like, God, like where's San Diego when I need it?
Yeah, hydroplane all the way
Yeah,
home.
right. And it's just that you can't, because a lot of time when you're driving, you can just kind of zone out, which you probably shouldn't do, but we all do. But when you're in those conditions, you're not zoning out. It's like you're 10 and 2. Again, bad road conditions. No one's really in a lane. You're just kind of guessing where the lanes are. You're like, well, this guy's here. And then some semi comes barreling by and kicks up 9 gallons of water on your windshield, and you're like, well, I can't see. And so it's an uncomfortable drive home. And it's like 7:10. You're like, why? Those are the sorts of nights, like last night, where you're just like, man, this sucks. And you think about,
it did.
And then you think about someone down in like Arizona right now that's probably sitting poolside, and it's like 84, and you're like, I get it.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty good.
6 inches of rain already in
Yeah.
November, from what I'm told
A lot of rain.
by my neighbor.
A lot of rain.
Because you know how some people measure it.
Why would well, is this the meteorologist, or is this just some dude who
No,
measures?
he's gone. He moved on up to a deluxe apartment in the
he
sky.
pulled a Jefferson. Well,
Yeah,
he didn't
he's
wanna
not
live by
down
it.
with us plebes anymore.
So you just have some normal dude that measures rain?
Well, he's the priest. Remember I told you I have a priest down the road?
And he measures rain?
I don't know.
That's like a hobby?
I just saw him today, and he was like, "Hey, Isaac." He's a really nice guy. And we were talking about how crappy the weather is because, it bonds us together as one.
Well, I will tell you this. Inches of rain, you could kind of spin that any way you want, and I don't really have a pushback.
In other words, it's kind of, there's no context.
No.
So he goes, at my house, I've had 6 inches in November.
Yeah.
He goes, that's really unusual. And
Now-
I said, well, yeah. I said, yeah, it's been raining a lot.
Well, this is
And then I said, Godspeed, and he said, God bless. And
the bread of God is bread.
that was it.
That was it. Nice little pleasant.
Little a little
See, here's my thing. You
exchange.
could 6 inches could be a lot. It could not be a lot. I mean, that's very subjective. Like if you told me
I've heard it's a lot.
If you told me you ran to your car in like 30 seconds, I don't know. Is that fast? Is it slow? 6 inches really isn't that like this much? I don't know that.
Yeah. I don't know.
How long? Like, is
Let's
that?
look.
I don't know. I don't know what is a lot of water.
That is a record for most rain in a month
Yeah.
in Portland. I'm asking AI.
The old GPT.
15 inches is the record.
So 6 inches isn't a lot.
No, I think it is.
It is?
For November, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's already. I guess it's 6 inches after like 6 days.
Exactly.
Okay, that's true.
I think that's what he meant.
So if we get an inch of rain a day, that's like an ungodly amount of rain.
Well, if you think about it, 6 inches in 6 days would put us on pace to double the record.
Yeah. So that
I
is,
mean, it's
okay.
rained
So,
hard.
yeah, it has.
It's not just rain.
Yeah.
It's rained hard.
Yes.
At times. And it's that's the obnoxious part.
Yeah. Yeah. You can handle a little,
They're saying great weekend
drizzle.
this weekend, and so that's just give us a couple days in there where we can go play golf and stuff, and we're good.
Had to cancel the tea time yesterday.
Yeah, but not tomorrow, or I mean not Saturday, not Sunday. It's supposed to be nice.
Well, that's nice. Well,
nice-ish.
Then you're not going to be able to get a tea time because everyone will be rushing out.
Well, I thought you belonged to a country club, like you're.
No.
Like, aren't you like a rich guy? And
No, I'm like the.
don't you have a standing tea time?
I'm the Cato Caitlin of Royal Oaks. Except I don't want to call like him.
Who's their OJ?
It's a good question.
Have you pinpointed him yet?
You know what? If I had to guess who the killer at Royal Oaks is, I'd probably give you a guess.
I know one guy that belongs there. That's
Yeah,
probably a
you
killer.
know some people over
Oh
there.
yeah.
doesn't every social group, don't you all have some sort of an idea where you're like, if it happened, here.
Who's the fans, OJ?
We've talked about this quite a bit.
Have we?
Yeah. I mean, over the years, like who's most likely
Is
to
it Swigard?
be well, there's a difference between serial killer and OJ.
Yeah, he our Dahmer.
See, OJ is a crime of passion. I don't think Swag would kill in a crime of passion. I think Swag may kill because he just enjoys it. Like if you told me that Swag had a really secret life where there was a crawl space and a dungeon, yeah.
Hold on, everybody.
But I can't see Swag like flying off the handlebars. OJ wasn't a serial killer. He just was he's just a regular old murderer. There's a difference. And that, if you're going to say crime of passion.
Yeah, who would that be?
Who'd be most likely to kill
Is it
someone?
lowercase? Is that our new guy, Casey?
I don't know enough about. Well, he is a hardcore.
He seems real laid
He is
back.
a
Probably not.
hardcore Westland rapper.
He says probably not.
No.
Yeah,
Lake Oswego.
yeah, Lake-O, sir.
Yeah, I like how
People from Lake-O don't like to be told they're from
I
Westland.
like how he raps about the mean streets, what he's seen. You don't know what he's been through. You don't know.
There ain't nothing mean about my rap.
You don't know what he's seen.
See, look at that. What a great line. He's heard your shenanigans before. There ain't nothing mean about my rap.
I beg to differ.
Lowercase.
We couldn't play it yesterday because it was such a
Yeah, did you,
profanity-laden filth.
Did you pull that? Did you pull your filth for us to play for the listeners?
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
Wasn't able to just get the audio.
That is
can I
the
tell you
most
that's the wor-
unacceptable answer I've
Yeah.
ever heard in my
And
life.
quite frankly, just a terrible excuse.
Like, what do you mean? You just
What?
don't want to play it? Is that what you're saying?
So when I made music, I worked with a group of guys, and all of the files for all the beats, all my audio files are on his PC.
And they won't give them to you?
Wait, you don't have...
I just haven't called him in a while.
You have a rap beef, don't you?
No, not at all.
Really?
Oh, I think
I
there's a
feel
rap
like
beef.
you have a rap beef.
But wait, why don't you have
I
copies
could give him
of
a
your
call
own
right now. I just haven't called him.
Why don't you have copies of your own stuff?
That's a great question.
Well, you have your own beat lab. but-
Lowercase.
yeah, this is...
I tell you what,
Yeah, I don't know. This is the whole thing.
none of this is adding up.
No, it's not. This is like when we read a story on In the News and I have to start questioning things. There's more to this than meets the eye. I could call him. I just haven't in a while. He has all the files. I don't know. It's a good question. This is Kyler
Listen,
Murray going on the
here's what I
IR,
think.
and you have a lingering foot injury, and no one's buying it. Lowercase.
Here's what I think. Okay, so this is Casey. He's filling in for Schultze. He is otherwise known as Lowercase, star rapper on Spotify, but somehow is working with us. He's in for day 2. And we love him. He did a great job yesterday. Bright future. Now, what I think is going on here is that I believe that as Lowercase sort of pivots to a new career,
Sure.
I believe what he is doing is he is trying to separate
Lowercase
from lowercase.
Yeah.
He wants to be Casey Sports Guy, not lowercase
See,
rapper.
and
that's fine.
yeah.
Just say that.
Yeah.
That's all you
There
got.
you go.
Yeah.
So
okay.
so you say that there's nothing mean in your Lake-O rap. I think there is. And my guess is that there's some misogyny. There may be some things in there that Lowercase does not want out there.
Well, when did you make these raps?
All of college.
Yeah, this is-
Yeah, so college
2019
age.
Yeah.
to
What is the
24?
Remember Miami, the 7th floor crew?
No.
You don't remember this?
The Greg Olson.
Yeah. So Miami, that team, that the Greg Olson, those Miami teams were some of the best.
Okay.
They all lived in a dorm. I forget the name of the dorm, but they had this. They was called the 7th floor crew, and they would rap, and apparently Greg Olson participated in those raps, and in those there were some some very flattering things about Greg Olson, third lead Greg, and what he liked to do, and it was a little uncomfortable because Greg Olson has a very wholesome image, and so I think what's happened is SoundCloud rapper extraordinaire in there is trying to present himself as a Lake Oswego fine upstanding member of the community, when in reality, there's things on those rap albums. It's not good.
I'm proud of him. I'm not afraid to hide it or not show it.
Yeah. Listen, I get what you're.
It's all right. I understand.
Here's what,
Clean slate.
Casey, you live in a tough world, because what I will tell you is, as a young 24-year-old, when I was 24, this is gonna blow you away, but when that was like, well, I don't know, 26 years ago, before you were born, you could say and do those things, and it wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
You know, is that
Max Kellerman's got a rap career.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
All of our
young
dumb,
me,
Yeah.
dumb me, young dumb me,
Yeah.
is not like you don't know what it
No,
was.
it just disappears.
It's just gone. It's
Yeah.
not living on social media. It's not living in a rap. It's just gone, poof. And I'm really happy about that because I was an idiot.
Yeah.
And I probably said some very terrible things.
Yeah.
And
There's
did some very
Dennis
terrible
Smith. Yeah, that's why now when guys like
But
get,
you
get
have-
drafted, their Twitter comes back to haunt
That's
them.
right. And you have to live in a world where
Yeah.
you know, look, there's not a 24-year-old that doesn't regret something he said or did 3 or 4 or 5 years ago or in high school. It just doesn't exist. You're a young guy, you make mistakes. And so that would be tough having to continually live those down, I think. So I see where you're coming from and I respect it.
But
Lowercase.
but what I don't respect is your horse-s.
Yeah, that was
I couldn't.
a very
it was
poor
good.
attempt
Yeah.
to hide it. But
you
but now
should have
we've
been better off just going with there was a terrible fire yesterday and the whole thing burned down. It made, or
you should have said they were in Eric Spolstra's house.
Yeah.
Would you believe if my buddy's computer did actually catch on fire?
It's better than whatever pedal crap you were throwing at us there. And you're a terrible liar. You can't lie while smiling, looking like you're high the entire time. I couldn't find him. You got to work on that poker face.
What do you want me to say? That's the truth.
Yeah, well, no, I think it
it's
wasn't
not
the
the
truth,
truth.
and I think we've gotten to the bottom of it, and it's okay.
That's all right. We
It's
understand.
okay. Did Odyssey run a background check on you?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't know.
We don't need those in radio. We
No.
don't care.
Did anyone?
All right. Well, we'll separate you from lowercase. We'll go with what are we calling you?
Call me Case. Call me lowercase. I'm
Okay.
down with either.
I do like lower LC.
Lowercase is a good name.
LC.
LC.
Yeah, lowercase.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll let that evolve.
I mean, it's no little rap, but I mean, come
Well,
on.
what is?
I would like to see the rap careers. I wish we could put Lil Rap up against lowercase, but you know that could be problematic. And someone is correct that the crime of passion that would be committed by a member of our station, and I don't want to say it because I feel bad for him, but it is the Schnitzel Wolf. One day
He'll kill someone.
he'll kill someone. Yes,
He'll just snap. He
Well,
does seem a little on edge.
he seems a little on edge, but he's on edge, but he's very happy. That masks it's a thin happy layer that just hides a little boiling ball of rage and anger, and he's the type that one day will snap and something bad will happen.
Yeah.
He's not capable of being a serial killer, but a crime of passion killer? Oh yeah.
I can't disagree.
No, it's the Schnitzel Wolf.
Tread lightly.
Yeah.
Keep bullying him at your own peril.
Yeah, I'm trying to walk that back a little bit
Careful.
and just try to embrace him. You know, I went for a ride in the Volvo. I'm trying to, like that human connection. That's like the whole, if you're in a car with a killer, you try to make them think of you as more than just a victim. I'm trying to do
Yeah.
that with the Schnitzel.
Yeah,
Wolf.
that's smart.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got lowercase in there. We've got Dan Lanning coming up at 4. At
Yeah.
least I think.
I believe you are
we
correct, sir.
think they're playing this week.
Off
we
the
think
bye.
He's back.
Yep.
They're playing Iowa.
Mhm.
Got your punts sweatshirt ready?
I did not wear it today, but maybe tomorrow I'll break it out. That is one of my favorite sweatshirts. The punt sweatshirt is whoever came up with that. Those two guys in Iowa, dude, that's iconic. Those guys are great.
How many? Well, I guess we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
We got a Dan Lanning pregame, Dan Lanning postgame.
Yeah, we got a lot of Dan
We got a
Lanning.
lot of Dan Lanning
Yeah.
today.
Got to ask him about how we missed him on Halloween. We don't know
Yeah.
what he was doing.
Yeah, and I think don't they have pink locker rooms
They do.
at Iowa?
The visitor locker room is pink.
Yeah, have you been there?
No, but that's the old. It's famous. It's been that way for a long time. It's the psychological warfare.
I'm sure that'll get right up in Dan Lanning's kitchen.
I would assume that that's going to make some form of the the little, I forget what they call it, the video, where they do the post game stuff.
Oh yeah,
That there will be.
There will be a reference?
I'd be surprised if there is not a reference to the pink locker room. Right?
Okay. All right. I want to ask him about it.
Yeah.
See how he's planned for that.
How do you prepare?
How do you prepare
do you
for
think?
a pink?
Do you think they put pink in the Ducks locker
Well,
room?
I was thinking maybe they'd put him in the uniforms just as a little.
They've done that before, where they
Yeah.
wear the
But they
breast
didn't.
cancer.
I saw the.
No, it's white and green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe they'd do that.
Pink cleats, perhaps.
Yeah, just a little homage.
Yeah.
Little knife twist.
Nothing wrong with some pink. Real men wear pink.
All right,
Although
well-
something tells me Dan Lanning does not wear a lot of pink.
Dan Lanning will be on at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, we'll start with Today in the NFL. We'll get to that coming up next. Thanks for being with us here on a Thursday with Isaac and Suk on 105.1 The Fan. All right, Dan Lanning coming up in 40 minutes. Somebody on the text line was asking, they need to know if Lanning goes cotton hoodie in the rain again, and we will definitely ask him that because it's supposed to rain out there.
Well, not only is it supposed to rain, but I think it's supposed to be in the low 40s. So does he – I don't know if I've ever seen him wear a coat.
Yeah, I don't think he does
Is there
really.
Is he a vest man? There has to – I need to know.
I could see him being a vestman.
At what temperature does he go something other than long sleeve T-shirt or sweatshirt?
I don't think he cares. I don't think he'll have an answer to that. He'll be like, dude, being cold is a choice.
If you're playing, I mean, we've all, if you've been around the game, you've played in cold weather to where it's one thing when you're playing in the 30s and 40s, but when you got a game where you're kicking off and it's 7 degrees and then the wind starts blowing, you can't wear a hooded sweatshirt. You just can't. There has to be some gloves and a hat.
Well, let's see what he does.
I'm asking.
This is exciting.
Pick locker rooms.
Honestly,
and at what point do we deviate from the long sleeve T-shirt, which he always wears, or the hoodie?
I mean, I've never looked more forward to a Dan Lanning interview than this one.
We asked the tough questions
because of these topics.
I'm not asking about Iowa's offensive line. I want to know about clothing choices. Damn it.
So we'll get to that, but we're going to start with today in the NFL, where we have some tragic news out of Dallas.
This is awful.
Yeah. So Marshawn Nealon, 24-year-old defensive end for the Cowboys, he was the punt block TD guy the other night against Arizona.
Second round pick, and he's playing, and
he has died.
Yeah.
They said so. They're still piecing together the timeline of this whole thing, but last night there was a traffic stop. He fled. And it escalated into this high-speed chase at like 150 miles per hour.
Yeah.
He loses his
car,
the popo.
Yeah.
He loses him, but then crashes and flees from his car. And so apparently they're searching for him. During the search, police get word that he had suicidal ideations because his girlfriend called them, and for hours they were searching for him. And at about 1:30 in the morning, they finally find him, and he had shot himself. So they said that they also did a welfare check at his house after the initial traffic chase because the girlfriend called him, and apparently the NFL called too, because the NFL was getting messages from some of his family saying that he was texting them goodbye. So the girlfriend said he had been threatening to end it all and had just had some mental health problems, and
you got to wonder too now, because people were asking, well, why would he run for a traffic stop? And then there's some people that do suicide by cop, and so it doesn't sound, at least from what we've heard so far, that this was I got stopped in a traffic stop. Oh my God, my life is over, sort of thing. You go home and commit suicide. It sounds like this was something that this young man was struggling with and just spiraled. And it is just heartbreaking and soul crushing. I thought Matt Rule took some time today.
Did he know him?
He played at Western Michigan, so I don't know if there was any. It was about an 8-minute clip. I listened to about 2 minutes of it, and he just brought up, he just took his time and he said, "Look, I want everyone to realize that you don't know what someone else is going through." And this is what you hear every time there's tragedy like this. Is it's true. It's like, you check in on people and give people some leeway, give some people some grace, because you just don't know what people are going on behind the scenes. Here's a guy, right? Seemingly everything you could want. Supposedly loving girlfriend, right? Committed. Second round pick out of Western Michigan. Good story. Living out his dream in the NFL. Yeah, it wasn't like he was like on the bench. He was playing. He was a big role for the Cowboys, and and apparently the entire time he was thinking about ending his life. And then, whether this was the catalyst or what, he decided that this morning that it was, that this was the way out.
Yeah, apparently his mom died in February of last year, and it was just 2 months before he was drafted.
Yeah.
And he wore her ashes in a necklace, and so just a terrible deal all around.
And people are saying, because when you hear traffic stop and that, obviously people jump to conclusions, and everything that's coming out about him says that he was just like the nicest person, gentle giant, just everyone with positive words to say. This isn't, speaking of trouble, Antonio Brown he got arrested today and was extradited from Dubai back to Florida on attempted murder charges.
What?
Yeah. Remember when he was shooting into the crowd at people and he clipped that guy? Yeah, they went and found him. The U.S. Marshals went and got him in Dubai today.
For that deal.
It was
after it was like after an MMA fight or something
like that, yeah. So apparently he just wasn't coming back to the States. He's like, I'm not coming back.
He was in Dubai?
He was in Dubai.
Dude, that guy.
Yeah, so they extradited him. So, like, that dude, like, honestly, if something happens with Antonio Brown, you know, you're like, God, it's like there's just one thing after another. This was just, by all accounts, just a good, sweet young man that just struggled with his mental health and, you know, couldn't find a way out. And it was awful. I saw this news today and kind of started reading about him and didn't know much about him. I mean, it's not like he was a big name in the NFL, but just kind of reading through his story, it was heartbreaking. And if you get a chance, go listen to the entire Matt Rule thing, or listen to the chunk. And it's one of those things that's always important to remember is, you know, check in on the people that you love and that you care about. And if you are experiencing thoughts like that, there's people out there that care. There's people out there that help. And I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't rather pick up the phone than read about something like this. It's awful.
For sure. Now, on the Antonio Brown situation.
Yeah. It's got a mugshot and everything.
Yeah, I see that here.
Yeah.
Well, he looks...
Right, he looks different.
Yeah, he looks a lot different.
Yeah.
He just has aged.
Yeah. Well, I think
Perhaps his lifestyle.
Yeah, I think his life has been...
But, you know, I mean, do we really need him back here? Can we just...
leave him in Dubai?
Yeah. Let him be their problem.
Well, I think when...
I mean, I get
think
it.
when you're facing attempted murder charges, that one, they probably will go and get you, but...
All right. But in his case, it's like he's more trouble. It's like, just leave him over there.
I know.
Let him run. Bye.
There's a
bitch.
There's a really good movie, Burn After Reading. Have you ever seen it with Brad Pitt? And
I've seen that.
There's one in there where at the end, like the director of the FBI, they're talking about a guy that's wanted, and they're like, well, where's he at? And they're like, I think he fled to like Venezuela. And he's like, we don't have an extradition. He's like, great, leave him. He's like, they're just happy he's gone.
Exactly.
And maybe that's
how I feel about Antonio Brown.
Could someone have gotten a hold of him and been like, hey, man, you can't come back?
Here's the thing.
Just stay.
Just call him and say, listen, we can extradite you and charge you for murder, attempted murder. Or just stay away.
Yeah,
and forget the murder thing because no one died.
No.
So just stay in Dubai.
Yeah. You're over there.
Okay? And if you do that, you won't have any problems.
And they over there apparently love you. It's like, hey, you just go be your celebrity and do whatever the hell it is you're doing. Yeah. So
I would imagine the victim might have a problem with that.
Probably.
But
although maybe you could buy him off, you know.
Yeah.
Although Antonio Brown doesn't pay any bills. You want to talk about one of the staggering, just falls where, dude, that guy.
I don't think it was ever a fall. Though.
No.
He was never right. He was just.
Yeah.
He was just good at football.
He just was good at football. But he wasn't just good at football. He was like, I mean, there was a stretch there where Antonio Brown was on path to be just an all-timer. And then that whole Raiders thing, the Gruden tapes and freezing his feet and the helmet, and then just, man.
Should have never left Pittsburgh.
No.
I remember when they did eventually part ways. It was a big deal, but at the time, I think a lot of people were like, well, come on, man. Yeah. You can't get rid of Antonio Brown.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Yeah. And they probably held on to him too long. You know, it's like you could tell.
Good. Yeah.
Well, he was good, but you could tell that Tomlin was just over that dude.
Yeah. And then people always ask, like, is that, we're going to find out his brain is mush. Anytime that happens with a football player, it might not be CT. The dude just might just be an idiot, They can't get out of his own way. And
I don't know that you can blame football on him. I mean, like...
Well, money just... They always say that, like, money just reveals who you are.
He's just a bad dude.
Exactly. He was a bad guy that got money and got empowered. And that, it says that's a deadly combination. Because everyone will make excuses for you because, man, he came into the league. I think he was like a 3rd or 4th round pick. He wasn't like a...
Where did he play college
Western
ball?
Michigan.
He was at Western Michigan,
Speaking of that, yeah.
No kidding?
Yeah, Western Michigan.
Huh.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Yeah, so actually 2 pieces of horrible... Like, if you're a Western Michigan fan today, those are 2 tragic pieces of news. Although one is beyond tragic, and the other one is just, God, Antonio Brown, go, like you said, go away.
AB went to Central Michigan.
Michigan. Central.
You idiot.
You went to Central? I thought...
You're an idiot.
Oh, so Western is the Mustang. Is Central the Chippewas?
No.
Have I got my directional
I don't know.
Michigans?
Yeah,
mixed
no,
up?
I think Central's Chippewas, yeah. I think that's right. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway.
Yeah, Central is the Chippewas. Why did I think he was a Western Michigan man?
Well, just disseminating bad information again.
God, how do you even
host a show?
How do I do it?
All right, guys, we got to go. Dan Lanning, 30 minutes, exactly.
Hmm.
But up next, we got to get into the Rico Dowdle situation.
Things.
Well, what?
What? Go.
You go.
No.
Things? What are you talking about?
Well, never mind.
Are you okay over there?
I'm okay.
Are you having a stroke?
Not that I know of.
There's a GoFundMe.
Yes.
We have a GoFundMe now.
Yes.
So we'll get to that coming up next.
You ever stop yourself before you say, like, I was one of those where it was like,
what were you going to say? Come on.
No, we're good.
Were you going to cuss?
No, I was not.
Were you going to say something disparaging?
Just every now and then, like, you start to say something. I was like, you know what? Just let you. We're good.
All right, we'll get to that coming up next. But first, here's Lowercase with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan. This Sports Center update is brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, Thursday night football is headed into the Mile High as the Denver Broncos are hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. Broncos looking to stay atop the AFC West division, currently sitting in first place at 7-2. Denver will be without star cornerback Pat Surtain, who has been listed out after not practicing due to a pectoral injury. The Blazers handed the Thunder their first loss of the season. Strong performances from Denny Avdia and Drew Holiday helping boost the Blazers 121-119 over OKC. Drew Holiday with 6 3-pointers, shooting 60% from beyond the arc. They will travel to Miami to face the Heat this Saturday. And the Washington Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin officially scored his 900th goal in the NHL. The goal came in the second period of a 6-1 victory over the Blues. Ovechkin now sits atop the NHL all-time goal-scoring list after breaking Wayne Gretzky's record in April. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Primetime with Isaac
The Dan Lanning pregame show is coming up next. I have some interesting facts about Iowa you may not have known.
Okay.
But first, today in the NFL continues where we have the Rico Dowdle fine.
Turns out that you do not get 3 pumps. No. It's misinformation.
So the Key and Peele skit is Hingle McCringleberry. and by the way, Key and Peele,
they were great.
Absolute genius.
Yeah.
So they had a skit where a football player named Hinkle McCringleberry would do pump a touchdown celebration,
crotch thrust. Yes.
And he was supposed to be 2, but he did 3, and then he would get flagged on the 3rd pump. You can only do 2 pumps.
Yeah. 2 pumps and you're safe. At least that's what people thought.
Yeah, so Dowdle did a bit on that after scoring a touchdown.
And can I say, too, that so many of these celebrations now are just so dumb and people try so hard. This was funny. This was legit. Well played.
Yeah, it was a good bit.
The teammates got around and they all counted. And they put the 2
did 1, and then he did 2, and then they said only 2.
Only 2.
Well, he got fined.
Because if you look at the sketch, the Key and Peele one, the referee is like an inch from the guy's crotch, waiting for him to thrust. And as soon as the 3rd one comes, he throws the flag. And so he just did 2, and it was fun. Well, it turns out the NFL disagrees that you get 2 pumps.
Yeah, so I think they fined him what? Did he get 20?
I think it was like 14 and some change.
14, okay.
So the NFL has a rule where you are not allowed to do any celebration of a sexual nature.
Yeah.
And apparently the pumps is indeed of a sexual nature.
So Dowdle has now started a GoFundMe for the money for his fine. He says, after much thought, I've launched a GoFundMe for my fines. Key said I got 3 pumps, but I guess the NFL disagrees. And then he says, actually, 100% of what is raised through this fundraiser will be sent to Children's Home Society of North Carolina. Children's Home Society promotes the right of every child to a permanent, safe, and loving family. They specialize in education and prevention programs, family preservation, and adoption and foster care. Let's raise some money.
And by the way, Keegan Michael Peel, or Keegan Michael Key is he was the guy that was doing the thrusting. He had a funny video where he reached out. He's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." Like he got involved. It was a fun bit.
So they've raised, he keeps upping the goal,
yeah.
But they've currently raised $21,629, and their goal is now $35,000.
It is kind of crazy that that's the sort of things that get people to donate, but as long as it goes to a good cause, and if that's what,
Well, hopefully someone follows through and makes sure he gives the monthe to the, I mean, look, I don't doubt Rico Dowdle, but, you know how these things go.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills have done a nice job of this. The Bills Mafia always, the other visiting team's quarterback or whatever. We've seen this where fan bases kind of rally around things like this, and you can end up raising a bunch of money. I think BYU found out. BYU plays Texas Tech this week, and it's one of the marquee games. And I guess, what was it? The Texas Tech barber. It's just this weird thing. The guy that, I guess they have a team barber, his wife was in a really bad car wreck and I guess is in bad shape. Somehow BYU got wind of this, put it out amongst their Twitter and whatever, and now BYU fans are raising an ton of money for the barber's wife.
That's great.
And like Joey McGuire and like the Texas Tech people were like, dude, just unbelievable response.
You Mormons.
I will say.
Yeah.
Look, whatever you think about the Magic Underwear and they're really
I love the Magic
They're
Underwear.
really nice people.
Yes, absolutely.
And so that was
the nicest people on the planet.
Some of the nicest human beings. So I just like some of those things that just randomly go viral like that and you can end up raising 30, 40, 50 grand or whatever, all because of a Key and Peele pump sketch. That was fun.
Now, can Texas Tech really kick the crap out of BYU now? Do they have to call off the dogs?
If they really start whooping that ass, they're like,
they did raise a bunch of money for.
Yeah, it's nice. It's gonna be a good game. I don't have a lot of faith. I think Texas Tech.
I was gonna say
BYU might be in some trouble.
I don't know how good of a game that's gonna be. I tell you what, I've watched Texas Tech a lot this year.
Yeah.
Just because they're kind of an interesting team.
They're certainly an outlier in the Big 12, I believe.
Dude, they have some bros. And like when push comes to shove, like we talk about this all the time with the elite teams. When push comes to shove, you just need some star players to just go ham. And they have that. A couple of pass rushers. We saw that they dominated Utah.
Yeah,
and Utah is not a bad team.
They got. It wasn't that they beat Utah; it's that they bullied Utah. And
exactly. And nobody bullies Utah.
no, and BYU is good up front. They're not great. They're not elite. They play close games. They
got a freshman quarterback. So and you know that Texas Tech can stop the run. So it's going to be about Brockmeyer,
who's throwing to his brother Tiger Brockmeyer.
Oh, are you kidding?
No, Bear and Tiger.
Oh my God.
Tiger is a receiver there, so we got Bear and Tiger Brockmeyer.
Yeah, I think again the odds makers don't get fooled, and this is a double-digit spread.
Yeah,
and that's for a reason.
I think anytime you talk about the Big 12, there's not. How do I say it? There just isn't the lines that exist in the SEC and the Big 10, right? They're just when Oregon plays Iowa, there's some meat out there, right? Offense and defensive line. Same thing in the SEC. The Big 12 is just not like that. It is not as physical a league, and Texas Tech is a bit of an outlier. So I think anytime anyone in the Big 12 is playing Texas Tech, the question becomes, can you block them? Because if you can't, and Utah has 2 NFL tackles, and if you watch that game, they could not block them in any shape or form. And that's my big thing that absolutely terrifies me is I'm not certain that BYU can block them. And the great equalizer in any football game is if you can take your front four and you don't have to bring pressure and dominate, then it kind of just ruins game plans.
I can't remember a Big 12 team that was this good up front on both sides.
No, it's
in a long time.
Yeah.
But they did that last week to Kansas State. I think what they did to Kansas State is exactly what they're going to do to BYU because, again, watch them against Kansas State and K-State. They were just like, you will not run the ball on us.
No.
We're going to make this quarterback beat us. And that quarterback at Kansas State is terrible.
Yeah.
And they absolutely, in the second half, started teeing off on him. Yeah. And that's what I think is going to happen. And then, it was a close game for a while. K-State came out. I think they took a lead, maybe even by 10. But they ended up losing by over 20 because Texas Tech just dominated on both lines of scrimmage.
Yeah, Texas Tech's one loss was to Arizona State, and it was kind of one of those bit of a wonky game, but Arizona State could not run the ball at all. Leavitt had to throw it like 50-something times, and it was just kind of one of those where – and there was a backup quarterback at Texas Tech, and, you got clipped. So it's not like Texas Tech is infallible. I mean, Arizona State beat them, but yes, it feels like in the Big 12 – look, the smart money is that Texas Tech will be the representative from the Big 12, and you're probably not getting 2 teams in. And if I was an Oregon or someone and I'm staring at a first-round matchup or whatever, of the Big 12 teams, the one I don't want to see is Texas Tech.
I agree.
Just, again, from a physical standpoint, offense and defensive line, they're more like a Big 10 or SEC team than they are a Big 12 or even an ACC team.
Well, didn't they spend like $50 million?
Yes.
To beef this up with a bunch of transfers and a bunch of, I mean, they just completely revamped.
Yep.
They're the new age. They're the poster child for the new age NIL college football.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of oil money down there and they put it together and said, let's go get some players.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next. And that, by the way, how ironic is that? That is the end of today in the NFL.
How about that?
Somehow we still talked about college football. All right, coming up next, let's get to the Dan Lanning pregame show. I have a couple of fun facts about the Iowa quarterback you may not know.
Oh, that he can't throw?
That's coming up next on The Fan.
Your leg bone connected to your knee bone. Who's in, who's out? Why? This is the Injury Report, brought to you by Zoom Care. Health on your schedule.
There's a lot of different scenarios out there of what can happen throughout the week and moving as you get closer to a game. This pivot, I would say, is completely predicated on the information that we have now and his health. And that's the most thing. He's, like I said, he's got to fully focus on getting healthy, and he's in a good spot and ready to do that.
Jonathan Gannon.
It's just a lie.
He's talking about Kyler Murray.
Yeah, you look at he was supposed to play last week. You watch the practice footage. He's moving around great. And even if it was not quite healing, putting him on IR means you can't bring him back for 4 weeks. Dude, this is not a injury move, putting him on IR. It's just not.
Zoom Care, more than 20 neighborhood clinics in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Convenient access to same-day, urgent, and emergency care. Schedule or learn more at zoomcare.com.
Whether you're looking
All right, coming up in 10 minutes, Oregon coach Dan Lanning. Oregon taking on Iowa at Kinnick Stadium, I believe it's called.
You are correct, sir.
Tomorrow we will have audio of Kirk Ferentz. I was listening to an interview with him he did on CBS. He was pretty good about when he realized Iowa fans were quite rabid. And he said the year was 1981.
Yeah.
So they have a long-standing history there at Iowa of being quite into football, and it should be a fun environment.
My buddy, who's the big Husky, they go to one road game every year, and they had done all the Pac-12 stadiums, and when they would go play, LSU. So that's like him and his wife's thing. And so when they joined the Big Ten, he was pretty excited about getting to see different stadiums. And so last year, I think it was last year, they went to Iowa, and they were pretty fired up. He loves the Midwest, and he thinks the people are so nice. And they came back, and I was like, how was it? And he's like, to be honest with you, man, he's like, it's a little nasty out there. They were kind of expecting like an aw shucks sort of, like, no. He said that Iowa is, the fan base has an edge that you wouldn't necessarily associate with people from Iowa. The Midwestern niceties apparently went out the window once you walked into the stadium.
So their quarterback, as a matter of fact, this guy from CBS, whoever he was, interviewing Ferentz, brought this up. He said that Oregon fans have been posting a lot of screen grabs of Mark Gronowski's passing stats.
Yeah, and they're not great.
They're not great at all.
No.
Do you have them in front of you?
I do. So
what do we got?
We talked about this yesterday. Because if Joel Klatt is calling the game and Gus Johnson, be prepared for everything that Gronowski does to be the greatest 3-yard completion of all time. This year, he is completing, about 56% of his passes. He has 946 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, and he has a QBR of 50.5.
50?
50. QBR.
Jeez.
It's not, he is.
Okay, so he doesn't, so this is what the guy was asking Ferentz about, and he said, but what fans don't realize, and here are 2 pieces of Mark Gronowski news that you probably didn't know.
Talk to me.
They threw up a graphic, and it said, longest streak with rush touchdown by a Big Ten quarterback. He is number 2 all time.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's their second leading rusher.
So Antoine Randall is number 1. He went 9 straight games with a rush touchdown. Mark Gronowski, 8, and Denard Robinson, 7.
Denard Robinson was that great Michigan quarterback that was so dynamic.
Yep. And the other fun fact about Mark Gronowski you may not know is that he is actually the winningest quarterback in NCAA history. Did you know that?
Because he played all those years at South Dakota.
Yeah, South Dakota State.
South Dakota State, yeah.
So he has 55 wins between South Dakota State and then I think 5 at Iowa because in one game he was hurt.
Yeah.
That broke the record previously held by the great Kellen Moore from Boise State. So you are going up against the winningest quarterback of all time.
I want you to realize that they blew out Minnesota last week. Well, I guess they had a bye, right? So 2 weeks ago when they played Minnesota. That was his first touchdown pass in the Big Ten all year. He had not thrown a single Big Ten touchdown pass. He had thrown one against...
What's their record in the Big Ten?
They have lost...
I think they've only lost once.
No, they've lost twice. They got clipped by Iowa... Iowa State's... That's a Big 12. So, yeah, they've lost one game in the Big Ten. That was to Indiana.
Yeah.
So, he had thrown one touchdown pass against Albany.
Almost lost to Penn State.
And he threw 2 against UMass. And he got 1. They beat Minnesota 41-3, and he threw for 135 yards and 1 touchdown.
His high this year is 186 yards.
Yes.
Against Rutgers.
But,
this is Iowa, though. Like, that makes you want to just write them off.
Yeah. And
But don't.
No.
Because, 1, like I said, he can run. And 2, their defense is top 5. As a matter of fact, I think I saw their defense is... Where did I put that? Yeah, they're number 2 in opponents' yards per play.
Yeah.
Number 2.
By most metrics, they are one of the best defenses in all of college football. They have a really good O-line. They run the ball real well. Gronowski is involved in the +1 run game. He is their second leading rusher. Like I said, they have 3 capable running backs, and they just try to... And another fun fact about Iowa, Oregon leads the NCAA in explosive runs. Guess who leads the NCAA in explosive runs not given up? Iowa. So everything Iowa does is just keep you in front, and they want you to have to go on 14 play drives, and they're convinced that they will get a penalty, a turnover, a big play, something like that. And so the weather is going to be 40 degrees and raining. It certainly is lending itself to one of those big physical knockdown Big Ten games, and they play really good special teams. Yes, get ready for Joe Klatt to do that anytime.
Well, he's not on the game.
Oh, thank God.
It's CBS.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Danielson.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Dan Lanning, the Oregon coach, joins us next here on 105.1 The Fan. Never mind.
Isaac and Souk on the Fan Sports
Bye.
Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
We ran into some technical difficulties
Hi,
there.
I'm a balloon. Bye.
Yeah. Well, listen. Ooh, do I hear the coach?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Ah!
Hey,
Oh my God,
there
he's
we go.
there.
Sorry,
Fantastic.
Coach. We're battling some technical difficulties.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dan Lanning. Yeah. Yeah, we have some weird phone lines in here, but good to talk to you. How was the bye week?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We got some good stuff accomplished. We were able to knock out some recruiting, some traveling during the process, and develop on some stuff with our guys as well. But it's been good.
How nice is this time of the year, like the bumps and bruises, or is it more of a preparation thing, getting the extra week off?
Combination. I mean, I think the reset is always good, and recruiting's still the lifeblood of your program. You know, thinking about what's next and who you're going to have on your team next. So it's important to have some time chopped out that you can utilize for that.
Is that the hardest, like going from where you at Georgia to now this being the head coach? Has that been the hardest thing? Is that it feels like the roster building, unlike in like the NFL, it feels like the roster building never stops in college.
Yeah, and it never really stopped there either. But it's different now that you have a picture of the entire, the entire program, and it's certainly different in today's climate with, how transitional things can be for sure.
How have you prepared for the pink locker rooms?
I showed a picture to our team. I was like, "Hey guys, the locker room's pink. Is that a big deal? Do I need to? Do you guys want me to paint it? Do you want me to cover it up? Are you guys going to be able to handle that? You guys all men? Okay, cool."
Yeah.
And then we just kind of kept moving.
Yeah.
So I've actually been here before. I think when I was a GA at Pitt, I'm pretty sure we put like a bunch of like paper all over the walls, and I mean, it is what it is. It's pink,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it does seem like
good
a
idea.
weird.
Good idea by them. Maybe it does something. It means we're talking about it on the radio instead of worried about, stopping their quarterback or figuring out how to block their D line. So,
True.
I'll ask a football question then. How do you run a cover 8 with 8 guys in coverage all the time, but still be like the number one rushing defense?
What do you mean specifically?
Well, they do this thing where they're basically in nickel the entire time. No big plays. Doesn't feel like they're super aggressive when I look at them. But of course, I'm not breaking down every film. But they're so fundamentally sound. No one really runs the ball on them real well.
No, I mean it starts up front with them. They strike blocks extremely well, and I tell you that the guys in coverage for them are aggressive run fitters. So those guys show up in the run fit. They understand where they fit, and they understand how to slow it down. They keep the linebackers clean. Their D linemen eat up too. So they get free hats to the ball and do a really good job of it.
How much is it like teaching like your guys to be patient too? Because it also feels like one of their strategies is if you do score against them, it's going to take you 9 minutes and they're going to make you go 15 plays. When you watch, do you find some teams that it's hard to be patient like that maybe some people get impatient against that style of D?
Well, it's certainly a team that can be tough when you want to take shots and opportunities. You look at film like, okay, well, we're just going to throw this one-on-one outside to this, to this corner. And when it doesn't get complete, guess what? It's second and 10. So they're good at making you feel like, okay, here's this. And the reality is it just doesn't happen very often. They do a good job in their sound and coverage. So you can't press. You got to make sure you stay on schedule and keep the ball moving forward and then kind of take what's given to you. And then if you get an opportunity to hit explosive, you take advantage of it.
So you said you've been there before. Was that you said with Pitt?
Yeah, when I was at Pitt, my first year in college ball, and it was an unbelievable environment. We were actually ahead all the way until the fourth quarter, and then they made an amazing comeback. That crowd was completely silent, and then they came back, and they were really loud. It was an awesome setup.
How much do you watch the college football playoff rankings, and how much do you talk about that stuff with the team?
None with the team, and I don't really watch it. The only time I ever spend talking about it is when I'm talking with guys like you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it matters. I mean, it doesn't matter yet, but it will matter in the end. And style points could come into play, right? I mean, is that something you think about?
Mm-hmm. Not yet. Like here's what I know: win. If we win, the rest takes care of itself. Now, let's say we lost, then maybe we start wearing like confetti and doing some style point stuff and start running like double trick reverses and that. But like right now, the goal is win, right? I'm not super concerned with style points. If we win, the rest takes care of itself. But if you have the ability to not leave it up to human error, right? As long as you win.
Yeah, it's like one of those things too. Like you can't control it. You guys have a huge win at Penn State, and then get a quarterback hurt, and Penn State's season kind of goes awry, and now all of a sudden no one gives you any credit for winning that game.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not worried about what anybody else thinks. Again, if we go take care of business, the rest takes care of itself. So I know we're in a good conference. We're going to be playing 3 ranked teams before the season's done. So
yeah,
like I said, go take care of business. The rest will handle itself.
And that's what I would assume, right? This 4-game stretch you have, because Minnesota's no slouch either. This is by far the toughest stretch of the season, is it not?
Oh yeah. I think we got a great group of teams playing. And this is where you want to be playing your best football too. So. 2 really tough road games, 4 teams that are all really good, playing Minnesota off a short week after they had a bye week before us. So there's plenty of adversity and plenty of tough situations for us to face.
This is Dan Lanning with us here on The Fan, Oregon, Iowa, here on The Fan on Saturday. You're obviously very much a we'll play whoever's on our schedule guy, control the controllables, but to some extent you can control that. How much do you talk to the AD about scheduling non-conference games? Do you prefer bigger non-conference games? Like what is your philosophy on that?
Yeah, I actually just got a text message a second ago. It's interesting. I have very little to do with like the last 3 years of scheduling, right? Because they plan these out 4 or 5 years in advance. One that I've been clear on, I always like the opportunity to play Oregon State. I think that's good for them and good for us. Especially when you play in our conference, the proximity of games, the opportunity to have a team that's going to be close, that's a rivalry that matters. But there haven't been a ton of situations or decisions that I've got the opportunity to make yet. Like we're further down the road. It's more like 2030 and 2031 or 2029. So when it comes up, I'll address it. I want to play good teams. I want to play teams that challenge our team. But I think every one of them, you're going to look differently at the situation. You got to figure out who's willing to play you as well.
Yeah, I mean, how much of that is it's interesting you say that have to be find someone willing to play you. Do you know, does the AD come and talk to you about like potential teams and then the negotiation kind of happen from there?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it works. I mean, I'm not really worried about it right now, but yeah, that's kind of how it works.
All right, I do want to ask you then about something that maybe you do worry about or don't. At what point do you wear a jacket? I was fascinated with the choice of the cotton sweatshirt in the downpour. That's 40 degrees, and yet you still held the line. Iowa's supposed to be in the 30s or 40s. Do we go cotton sweatshirt again?
I don't know. I don't get to play, so it's kind of like my way to, I guess, to feel like I'm in the fight with the players a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. It's probably just a mind game I'm playing with myself a little bit. But
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to rain there. I mean, will you change at halftime if it's as wet?
I didn't last game. No, I don't know. We'll see. Who cares? Like, I don't know. I want to be out there with our players on the field and go to work. And
yeah. All right.
I don't know. We haven't had that many rain games since I've been here. So it starts happening every week. Maybe at some point I should do something different. But
now, do you pick what you wear before the game, or like, do you have the choice of a jacket or a vest? Or I know you're not a big hat guy.
Yeah. There's some stuff sitting in my locker. I almost always kind of pick the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's there for you if you need it.
Well, these are the sort of things
we
this.
got a great equipment staff. I mean, they tried to get me to throw some stuff on last game a couple times, and I just didn't feel like doing it.
Would you ever throw on a beanie?
Probably not. I mean, but I'm not going to say never.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. This is what people like us, these idiots that sit around, we have nothing better to do. These are the things that we have to discuss because we're all like, man.
Yeah, these big decisions.
Yeah, big decisions. Well,
you guys get it though, right? Like your players are out there battling, and you're like, okay, let's be tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's like the lineman thing. Like when I played, we couldn't wear sleeves. That was a source of pride. No matter how cold it got, you just couldn't. Like we would not let each other wear sleeves. You put Vaseline on your arms maybe, but God forbid you wore sleeves.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
All right. Have you ever been in a big snow game ever?
I mean, I've been in a few, but nothing like crazy insane. Had one at Pitt, had one in had a few in high school, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Did you were you trick-or-treating with the kids? Did the kids even go trick-or-treating this year?
No, I mean, yeah, they did some trick-or-treating. I was on the road recruiting, so I was traveling. I made it to, I guess, 4 states on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so a little bit of traveling. So
Wow.
didn't get to do the trick or treating, but got back Saturday night about 8:30, and most of the games were over at that point. And got to watch a little bit of that baseball game though. Got to
Oh,
catch,
yeah,
at the very
yeah.
end. I got back just in time to catch the end of that baseball game, which was pretty cool.
Dude, we got to ask now. Were you going West Coast or were you going, were you rooting a little north of the border?
It felt like there weren't a lot of great options, so I was going America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
I was going, let's go Dodgers, and but I really didn't care. I was excited about a good game.
You a Royals
But I
fan?
just, in my mind, I can't really, cheer for Canada, right? I mean,
No, that's right. But with the Dodgers, you're kind of rooting for Japan.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah, which is cool too. That's cool. How different is that? I mean, unbelievable play, and
yeah.
what a crazy inning. What a crazy last couple innings. A lot of fun to watch.
Now,
and I'm
did
not
you-
a baseball fan. That's literally the amount of baseball.
Oh.
If I'm not watching the Oregon Ducks baseball team, like that's the most baseball by far I've seen. I probably watched 2 innings this year.
So you didn't grow up a Royals fan?
I'm a Royals fan. I grew up watching George Brett, and I'm a big Bo Jackson fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely a Royals fan. But you just don't have time to pay attention to other sports really. Yeah. Baseball kind of gets big and important whenever football is big and important. So I don't really do both.
Well, if you're going to pick 2 innings to watch, those were 2 innings to watch. It was like it might be the best
it
World
made
Series
me
I've
a
ever
baseball
seen.
fan. Are you guys, in fact, speaking of baseball, do you know much about this banana ball stuff going on in Savannah?
Oh yeah, dude.
Georgia?
It's like sweeping the country. Like they sell out every stadium, every major league stadium. It's
fantastic.
It's the end all to be all.
They're coming out to Eugene next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was flipping through a documentary last night with my boys, and we were watching a little bit of it. It's pretty impressive, man. It's pretty cool.
Now the question becomes, as the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, will you be involved? Will you reach out to be a part of Banana Ball?
Well, I won't reach out, but I'd welcome the opportunity to be around it a little bit. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Well, are they going to play in Autzen, or are they going to play in the? Do you guys know how that works? Or
No, they're at Autzen.
I would assume they're Autzen because they play big stadiums.
Yeah, they'll pack it.
Yeah.
So
like cool. they played a NASCAR venue, I think, and if I'm not, it was like 100,000 people. So they've.
Wow.
I mean, they're playing major league stadiums. They're playing everything. I mean, it's kind of one of the hottest tickets in sports right now.
Let's go. That's awesome, man. The way this guy started this company is pretty awesome.
Yeah, he sold everything, didn't he? Or like life
they
savings.
Sold their house just to make it happen. So pretty cool.
Well, there's got to be some sort of Nike Oregon banana collab when they come to Eugene. There's going to be exclusive merch.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Yeah, we need to run that up the line.
All right, sir. Have safe travels and good luck in Iowa. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
All right, that's Dan Lanning, Oregon coach.
I can confirm he will not be wearing a jacket and/or. I love the beanie. He's like, no.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
No.
He really does not care.
Again, we've learned being sick is a choice, being cold and wet also a choice.
Although we called him out on the being sick thing.
Yeah.
Because there's, I don't know which game it was, but one of the games here, he comes on every Thursday.
He had a cold.
He clearly was sick.
And yet he was still powering through this.
Yeah, he was, but it's not a choice. Like he didn't.
I beg to differ.
He was like, He's like, maybe I pounded a whole thing of Robitussin, or like, come on.
The man's an animal.
He is an animal.
I
think it's. I find it so odd though that when it's raining like that, you won't just put on a jacket.
Yeah. No, won't do it.
I mean,
the jacket.
There's no harm in putting on.
And we've confirmed the jacket is in the locker. They were trying to get him to wear the jacket, and he said, "Nay."
Yeah. He's an animal.
He just did that.
You're right.
It's the ultimate competitor.
All right, Dan Lanning each Thursday at 4 here on The Fan, brought to you by Philbrook Law. In football, you need a great coach. In life, after an accident, you need a great lawyer. That's why you need Philbrook Law, accident and injury attorneys, philbrook-law.com, your local law team. The Dan Lanning postgame show is coming up next. I have the hypothetical point spread if Oregon played Ohio State.
Oh, this is fun.
Fun game.
Look into the crystal ball.
NFG, new fun game.
I'm going to say off the top of my head, I'm going to say,
what do you think?
4.5.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that coming up next here on 105.1 The Fan. All right. Thanks to Dan Lanning for the time. Gracious time. So the point spread on this game, 6.5. It's just kind of sitting right there.
Yeah.
Oregon is favored. Although I think I saw Herb Street talking to Pat McAfee today.
Yeah.
And he said that he thinks Oregon's going to lose.
There's a lot of the national folks that are kind of poking around this, where this has become, stuff becomes sexy, upsets, kind of groupthink. And it does feel like a lot of the national pundits are pointing to this one is maybe one where they trip. One, Oregon the last couple weeks hasn't necessarily, with the exception of Rutgers, hasn't looked that good. The shine has come off of the Penn State thing. People are pointing to the Iowa-Indiana game. Iowa actually had a big offensive explosion against Minnesota. So narratives, and you kind of want to build up these big games, and so I think that's kind of become a thing.
I mean, I don't know if it's narrative as much as it is like what people are seeing. It's like Oregon's offense has not looked great. Iowa has looked great. I think the thing about Iowa that's so weird is it's just so hard to pick them. They're good, right? But it's just so hard to pick them with an offense like that.
Yes.
Well,
and they haven't. I think they're now like against top 25 teams. They're like
0 and 11.
0 and 11.
They're 0. So they're 0 and 11 in their last 11 games against ranked opponents.
Yeah, these are games that Iowa, it's just they just haven't won. They're in a lot of these games. Again, I go back. Indiana at home. That was a tie game with about 2.5 to play, and Iowa was kicking a field goal to try to win that game or at least go up. And
what's funny?
And it went south, and next thing you know, Indiana's scoring, and thanks for coming.
What's funny is you look at the whole transitive property thing is just it's not a good way to look at football at all.
No.
However, in the interest of being dumb, Penn State. If you look at Penn State, Oregon, Indiana, and Iowa, they've all played. And they've all been toss-up games.
Yeah, right.
Every one of them.
Flips.
Indiana at Oregon, Indiana at Iowa, Penn State, Iowa was I think it was 25-24. Oregon, Penn State went to double overtime, and then this week we get Oregon, Iowa, and Indiana, Penn State.
Yeah. So.
So they've all been close. They're like the same team,
and it feels like this one will be close.
This will be close.
I have a hard time picking Iowa because they just.
Well, they're Iowa.
They're Iowa.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're Oregon has been good. Oregon's defense has been good all year. I don't believe in Iowa's offense. They have not had a 300-yard passer in 73 games.
They don't. That's not how they win.
I know, but I don't believe with a truly one-dimensional team that they are going to line up and just bully Oregon. I don't believe that's the case. And yes, I know Oregon's offense didn't look good against Wisconsin. This is a good offensive football team. It just is. And the other one is they do not have a single skilled position player that would play for Oregon. Not a single one. Not a running back, not a quarterback. Their leading receiver has 16 catches for like 129 yards. And I know they have a couple good backs, but they're not necessarily NFL guys. The only thing they have on that side of the ball, their O-line. Their O-line is really good, and so is Oregon. So when I look at this, I understand that the styles make fights, and they're very well disciplined. But ultimately, the reason why Iowa loses these games is they are just less talented. So I have a hard time picking the less talented team almost universally across the board. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't win. It doesn't mean that they can't drag Oregon into deep water. But for me to pick this upset, I can't bring myself to do it.
You know what I'm most looking forward to?
What you got?
I am most looking forward to the Kirk Ferentz cowardly punt.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's coming.
They will be at Oregon's 47,
yes.
And it will be 4th and 2.
Yes,
and they'll be
he'll punt.
Here we go. Pin them deep.
And so I'm going to go ahead and predict right now that a cowardly punt will lead to an explosive play for Oregon that is the difference in the game. That's what I'm going to go ahead and predict right now.
I like where that's going.
But against the spread, that's a tough one. I'm with you. I think it's going to be a tough football game. And like you said yesterday, the way Iowa beats you is they limit your possessions.
Yeah.
And make you be really good on when you do have the ball. And so I think Oregon, I don't know. I don't think they're going to hold the ball or have the ball that many times.
No, you're looking at, I think Iowa wants Oregon to have about 9 to 10 possessions. That is probably in fact, if you're being honest, I think they'd probably rather have about 8. but that's, 10 possessions is about what you're looking for. And some of that's like that. And that's about what happened at Indiana. Remember, one of those, the Indiana's first touchdown came when Indiana got an interception and they only had to go like 2 plays. And then there was like an end of the half one that was a couple, and then the safety at the end. So there was only about 7 meaningful possessions that Indiana had. And so when you ask, how does Iowa hold you down? That's it.
Right there.
They only give you the ball 7 times, and they play really good defense. And the other one will be penalties and negative plays.
Special teams, too.
Special teams.
They're good at special teams.
One of the things about playing, when I asked him about the cover 8, and Landon was like more specific. So they played this cover 8 defense where they drop 8 guys into coverage. And normally when you do that, you should be able to run teams out of that. But they're so disciplined, and their secondary guys are such good at run fit. Even though they're dropping 8 into coverage, they just don't give up big run plays. And so the idea is somewhere along the way, you shoot yourself in the foot. And so Oregon has to be really good about not taking negative plays. And I thought it was interesting that Landon even said, they kind of bait you into taking like, hey, you got a one-on-one out here, take this shot. And before you know it, on first down, you're like, oh, damn it, it's 2nd and 10.
Yep.
Now you're behind the chains, and now Iowa's laughing, licking their lips. And so there does need to be a patience there, and that can be hard for guys, especially an offense that's used to being explosive at Oregon. So this may not be the sexiest game for people to watch, but from an X's and O's, I feel like you're a football nerd.
It'll be good.
This is a fun game.
Yeah. So I saw the potential point spread if Oregon and Ohio State were to meet again.
And I just said off the top of my head, I went Ohio State 4.5.
Ohio State is 11-0-1 against the spread in their last 12 games.
That's pretty good.
So they went on, after losing to Michigan last year, they have been on an absolutely epic run.
Yeah.
Where they have beaten every single team. They have covered every single spread. And of those teams, I think those 12 games, I think 6 of them were top 10.
Yeah. Who didn't they cover?
Well, there was one they pushed.
They pushed because Oregon was favored in that game. Were they not when they lost last year?
Yes, dude. Iowa
that
State
was a cover.
Yeah, that was a cover. They pushed against somebody. It might have been Texas, because didn't Texas score a?
Yeah,
because they covered late.
Was that 14? That ended up being 14-10.
Oh no, I think it was like, I think it ended up being.
Well, look,
this is a good test. I think that final score was 28-14.
Because remember in the opener?
No, 14-7 this year. I'm talking about last year's playoff game.
Sorry.
I think they had a pick 6.
Okay.
Late.
Because this year's game, I believe, was 14-7.
It was 14-7. Well, that might have been the push right there. Were they favored by 7?
I'll take a look-see where that's.
Anyway, if Ohio State were to play Oregon in the playoff, the point spread would be, according to odds makers, or one odds maker. You said 4.5?
I said 4.5.
11.5.
Get right the hell out of town.
Not even kidding.
Really?
That's how the odds makers view Oregon via Ohio State.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Isn't that wild?
And I know what happened in the playoffs last year. You give me Oregon an 11.5, I'll take Oregon in the points.
The thing about Ohio State is they cannot make these spreads high enough.
No.
I mean, they covered again last week, beat Penn State, and I think they were losing or it was close at halftime.
Yeah.
And this week, it's like they're playing Purdue. It's like 30 points. Like they can't make these spreads high enough.
No.
They just keep covering.
Yeah. I'm looking here. You're right, because the Washington game was a 7-point game going into the fourth quarter. Ended up winning 24-6. I'm trying to think if they've really. No, I mean, the Texas game is the only close game they've played. They've been in games in the fourth quarter, but every one of them outside of that Texas game has ended up basically being a blowout at the end of it. 34-16 against Illinois, 38-14 Penn State, 34-0 Wisconsin. Yeah, they played in one close game.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the one game that they pushed.
Because it wasn't Texas, so I looked up. They beat Texas by 7, and it was anywhere from 1 to 2.5.
Oh, are you talking about the playoff game?
No, this year.
Yeah, no, it was 14-7.
14-7.
But what was the score of last year's playoff game? I want to say it was 28-14.
Okay, I will. So I was looking at the point spread for this year and what it was.
Not that any of this matters.
No, it doesn't. But
who cares?
I don't know. Basically, what you're saying is Ohio State right now is a juggernaut, which probably means they're going to lose in the postseason.
They did beat Texas 28-14
28-14
in the playoff.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure the spread was not 14.
No, zero chance of that.
Let's see what the spread was.
But
spread was 5.5.
It does feel like every time we get one of these teams that like can't lose, they lose.
Yeah.
I think
Who do you think is the team that is best suited to beat Ohio State?
I don't believe in A&M. I just don't. And this is going to sound like a slight to Texas A&M, and I don't want it to be. Texas A&M easily, and I mean easily, could have 2 to 3 losses. They're undefeated. They're 8-0. They're in the SEC. Dude, give them all the credit in the world. Texas A&M is not the 3rd best team in the country. They're just not.
I have the push.
Oh, what's the push?
They played Ohio in their 3rd game. They were favored by 28, and they won by 28. Those odds makers are good.
It is alarming how close they are on those sorts of things. That's interesting.
Does Alabama have?
That's kind of where I want to go with this.
Does Alabama have the corners, like Kirkpatrick, and do they have corners that can actually cover Smith and Tate?
Yeah. Because, I mean, that may...
But they don't stop the run very well.
But Ohio State doesn't run the ball particularly well. So that's why I was kind of going down with... If you find someone that can play sticky defense, and Alabama's pass rush is kind of getting going there, and Alabama's offense, I do think, can cause Ohio State problems because no one really has this year. If you ask me who I had to pick in a tournament to beat Ohio State, I think I would probably lean towards Alabama.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
All right, coming up next, in the news.
I love ITN.
Screwed by the government yet again.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
That's next, but first, here is Casey with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Thursday Night Football is headed to the Mile High as the Denver Broncos will host the Las Vegas Raiders. Denver is looking to stay atop of the AFC West Division, currently sitting at first place at 7-2. Denver will be without star cornerback Pat Surtain, who has been listed as out after not practicing due to a pectoral injury. Former All-Pro wide receiver Antonio Brown has been arrested on attempted murder charges. According to TMZ, Brown was extradited back to the U.S. from Dubai and is being accused of trying to shoot and kill a man at a boxing event earlier this year. The Blazers handed the Thunder their first loss of the season with strong performances from Denny Avdia and Drew Holiday. Holiday was 6 3-pointers, shooting for 60% from beyond the arc in last night's performance to beat the Thunder 121-119. And the Washington Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin has scored his 900th goal in the NHL. The goal came in the second period of a 6-1 victory over the Blues, and Ovechkin sits atop the NHL all-time goal-scoring list. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad.
It is November 6th, 2025. It is time now for In the News. I'm your noted and humble newsman. Thank you. Hello. It is brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Today is National Nachos Day.
Oh, who doesn't love nachos?
God, I love nachos. So good. So good.
I mean, so good. Like, I make a nice homemade. That's one of the few things that I think I do well.
You're a solid nacho maker.
Yeah, like if I
What do you put on your
if
nachos?
I'm put in charge of dinner,
You're making nachos?
I don't have a lot of good options, right? I do a decent steak, and it's decent, but I do feel like I make a good nacho. I feel like I take care
What do you put on it?
in my nacho. Well, I like to start with at least 2 different sort of tortilla chips.
Okay.
Like I like to go with like maybe a plain tortilla, and then I like to throw in maybe one with a little more spice, like a Juanitas. You do the traditional Juanitas, and then you do like the sweet chili Juanitas. Or maybe you throw in like a regular tortilla, and then you go with like a Dorito in there. I like to mix it up with my chips. And then I like to do a base of my meat. That's the key. I like to layer my toppings. So I like to do a nice base starting maybe with some nice chorizo. If I'm going down that road, maybe I'll do a little bison under there. And then I like to do my first layer of cheese. And then I'm going to go with my beans. Then I'm going to do another layer of meat. And then my cheese on top, I like to go with like a softer cheese, like either a blue cheese or maybe a gorgonzola. And then I like to do the fresh chopped up bacon. I'm going to throw some chives on there. I'm going to throw some green onion. We're going to do some jalapeno. I take my nachos seriously.
You lost me at beans.
Oh.
I'm out. I can't have beans.
You know, my son doesn't like him, so when he's home, we do half beans, half no beans.
Yeah, I'm out.
Nah, I take my nachos seriously. And again, the key is layers. Especially if you really want to do it, you do layer of chip, layer of meat, layer of chip. So that way you get, because a lot of times then the chip at the bottom gets no topping.
See, I like cheese down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Layers. And remember, don't stack higher, go wider. Too often we stack nachos like in a mountain. No. You got to go lake. You got to get a big flat pan to go with your nacho. That way you're able to spread everything out. The vertical nacho is right out.
Do the beans not get your chips soggy?
No, we got to dry the beans. You got to strain the beans. You don't put the beans with the like wet beans.
You're thinking whole beans, not refried.
Yeah, no refried bean. No, that's a black bean or a pinto bean. And the key is, again, you got to make sure that you drain everything out of that. You can't put the wet bean, or you risk wetting the nacho. And also, don't be afraid to crisp everything. You got to get it in the oven and then really get a nice crisp, almost like a burnt cheese element to it. That's the key to a good homemade nacho.
Crusty side cheese.
Exactly.
I love crusty side cheese.
Yes.
It is also basketball day.
Look, if you ask me
This show loves nachos way more than basketball.
If you ask me which one that I was going to be forced to go without, nachos or basketball, I think you know where I'm going.
Well, we're screwed by the government yet again.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
The FAA has ordered Portland and 38 other major airports to cut flights.
10%.
Oh, wait, 39 other airports.
39 of the major airports will have a 10% reduction.
Yeah, 40 total.
It's not good.
No, just because they can't talk to one another in Congress.
Yeah.
It's a government
And a
shutdown.
lot of the TSA people at this point just aren't showing up for work because they haven't been paid in
missing
over a month.
paychecks.
Have you seen the Houston airport?
No.
My gal has to fly for work next week, and she's going to Houston and Baltimore. Would you care to guess what they are saying the average wait time at the Houston airport is right now?
Wait time for what?
Just to get through. What they're telling you to get to the Houston airport for your flight.
Meaning like to get through security and stuff?
Yeah. You're supposed to show up for a flight hour, 2 hours early.
Okay. I'm going to say 5 hours.
5 to 7 hours, depending on what time of the day.
Oh, no.
Yep.
What a mess.
7 hours in some cases.
My wife's supposed to leave for Detroit tomorrow.
Have fun.
She's sweating bullets.
Yep. It's really rough out there right now.
I have a gambling man idea.
Talk to me.
I was thinking about this today. Why, like, if you have like a good points credit card or something,
Yeah.
could you buy some refundable tickets right now with no intent on going and hope one or two get canceled? because if they get canceled, they said that they're going to, if you don't end up going on the trip, they'll give you money back. Or they'll give you like not money back. You get your money back no matter what. Vouchers.
That's not a,
because even if they don't get canceled, you can still get they're refundable. You'd have to pay off your credit card, but you'd have flight vouchers.
Yeah.
Either way.
That's actually not. There's probably a reason why you shouldn't do this, but to my moronic ass over here, that seems like a brilliant idea.
I can't think of one.
I had a friend,
I just don't know which. So you said 10%.
10%.
Which, I mean, like what 10%? Like how do you calculate?
Well, but that won't be. They will take roots off the board.
I know, but I'm saying like how do you like if you're doing my gambling man idea, how would you try to pinpoint the ones that they will take off the board?
I don't know. Maybe there's an AI, like an algorithm that you could figure that out. It reminded me of this. I had a friend of mine who will remain nameless. Remember when Biden was talking about canceling up to like $30,000 worth of college debt?
Yes.
So my buddy's daughter was a junior or a senior in college. So he had her take out a student loan to the tune, but they didn't touch the money. They just took the money and they just kept it in a side. They didn't need it. But he said if that loan gets forgiven, because you don't have to start paying that back.
Yeah, you just keep the money.
You just keep the money, and he'd give it to her as a graduation present. And if they didn't get forgiven, then they just take it and they pay back the loan in one big lump sum. So he took out like a $8,000 loan, gambling on the idea that loan could get canceled out. I actually thought it was kind of genius.
But it didn't.
No, so they just ended up, when she
Thanks a lot, Obama.
Yeah, when she graduated, they just took that money and just paid everything off.
Yeah.
But he was like, it doesn't hurt. It's a 0% loan. You just can't be dumb and touch the money, which is why he didn't let her have it. He kept it. Just put it in an account.
All right. Well, safe travels, everyone.
Yeah, someone's saying they're prioritizing probably long haul and international flights, canceling the regional stuff. That would make sense.
Yeah, so the smaller, like Boise.
Yeah, you probably, if you're betting on stuff, bet on no one's canceling LA to New York.
Right.
Big commerce
What about
flights.
Portland to LA?
Yeah, Portland to LA. Yeah, you want to find the smaller stuff. Ugh. That's what you think of that.
Naked and hit by a patrol car.
That's not good.
Which is worse? Well, we know which is worse. I don't know why I asked.
I'd rather be naked.
But this was a situation that only in Portland, war-torn Portland. We will get to that coming up next. Also, Washington has a new state sport in the news on The Fan.
This is the Fan's window into sports, a view into today's top stories. Brought to you by Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
First player in National Hockey League history to reach that magic number.
A little history last night.
Yeah, this was
on the ice.
If you don't follow hockey, this was a monster deal. And by the way, the opposing goalie tried to steal the puck.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Did he get it?
No, they called him out on it, and now he's trying to say that he was going to give it back. BS. My man pocketed.
How does he think he's going to get away with that?
Dude, he put it in the back of his pants.
But how does he think he's going to get away with that?
I don't know.
He would be like, hey, where's the puck?
Nice try.
Window Nation this month, 50% off all window styles, 0% financing for 5 years. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com. Welcome back. I hope you don't have Texas San Antonio tonight.
I do not. I am not Ryan Buckley, so I have not bet on, was it South Florida, Texas San Antonio?
Yeah. It's
This is
actually kind of a big game.
This is the sort of thing that Buckley would be all over.
Oh, for sure.
Why is it a big game?
Well, both teams are in the running to be the Group of 5 team in the playoff.
Texas San Antonio is? I thought they were having a rough year.
Oh, no, sorry. Not Texas San Antonio. I was thinking North Texas.
I was like, what are you
But
talking
South
about?
Florida is.
Okay.
At any rate, South Florida is about to go up 14-0.
Mhm.
They have a pick 6 on the first play of the game.
Yeah.
And they have a 95-yard fumble return for a touchdown.
Was it a thick six or was it a little fella running 95 yards?
It was a pick 6. It was a
pick six.
DB.
Yeah, never mind.
And then the quarterback threw the pick 6, and then he just fumbled 95-yard fumble return.
Yeah.
So the quarterback for UTSA having a rough
Well,
night.
they are 4. As I said,
Yeah.
they're 4-4.
Well, that's the same team that was kicking the crap out of Tulane last Thursday.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Friday. At any rate, this is In the News, November 6, 2025. Hello, your noted newsman here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Pickleball was invented in the state of Washington. Did you know that?
I had no idea. I've never played pickleball once.
I haven't either. I don't know that I ever will, but never say never.
I mean, look, I'm not opposed to. If I am somewhere and a game of pickle breaks out and someone's like, Sook, paddle, ball, let's. Sure. But I do not see any scenario where I would leave my house to go play pickleball.
1965 was the year. It was created on Bainbridge Island by 3 families who were looking to entertain their bored kids.
Sounds about right.
And they improvised it on an old badminton court.
I mean, isn't it just tennis with a wiffle ball?
And they used ping pong paddles. Yeah, I don't know. Look, can you imagine, like, you started that in 1965, and it didn't pop until 2025.
Did they get any money out of it, or?
Oh, I don't think so. Isn't that weird, though?
Yeah. I still don't know how that game caught on. Did we just get fat and lazy so we can't play tennis anymore? But we like the idea of racket sports, or?
I think it caught on because it was easier than tennis.
Yeah.
And you could play it, more people could play it.
Yeah, the olds can. Because if you've never played tennis and you go out and try to play, it's brutal.
It's maddening. It's
Yeah.
much like golf.
Yes.
At any rate.
The question becomes, will we see the pickling of golf?
What do you mean? Oh, like, yeah, we're already starting to see that.
Par
like,
threes?
Yeah, par 3 courses or
Giant holes?
Frisbee golf.
Yeah, you got frisbee golf. You got soccer golf too.
Really?
Yeah, where people kick.
Oh.
I don't know. They play on golf courses and they kick. It's like kickball golf or something. I don't
The
know.
holes are dug into the ground.
Yeah, and you kick them in.
Because golf is fantastic, but for a lot of people, golf is just too frustrating.
Yeah. Well, Washingtonians, namely you.
What do we do now?
You have a new option for specialty license plate.
We
as,
do?
They are now celebrating the founding of pickleball.
Oh, God.
With a $40 pickleball plate. And it's
I'm good.
It's got Rainier in the background. It's blue, and it's got a couple of pickleball paddles and a pickleball, and it says Pickleball State Sport on the bottom of it.
Think about loving pickleball so much that you put it on your license plate.
They're very proud of their pickleball up there.
Who's that for? Like, there are that many people that are like, yeah.
A man who was reportedly running naked with a handgun in Portland's Lloyd district was struck by a patrol car, shocked with a taser, and injured by police Wednesday night.
I like that he got hit by the car and then got up and had to be tased afterwards.
Well, don't they hit nude people with the car because they don't want to put their hands on the...
I've seen... I don't know exactly that's the reason why, but I have seen more and more of the cop videos where the person will have a gun and they just get hit with the car. That does seem like that's becoming more and more of a technique.
I think it's just easier for them.
I think so.
They don't want to lay their hands on
and there's
their butts.
Yeah, it's like the safest, because they're not running them over at like 60. You're just kind of giving them a little bit of a love, just a little love tap, a little bumper to bumper.
Around 9:42, Portland police said they received multiple reports of a man without clothes running in the area of Northeast Hazelow Street. When officers arrived, the man was no longer there. After searching the area, they found him near Northeast Grand and Multnomah Street. They reported hearing a gunshot before the man, who has not been identified, began running south. An officer driving a patrol car struck the man in his vehicle, knocking him down, causing him to drop his weapon. He got up and continued running until he encountered other officers. They say he was shockingly uncooperative,
Oh, yeah.
and they tased him.
Well, look, I give the guy credit for taking he bounced off probably like a Ford Explorer and kept going, but it does seem like a very effective way to end a confrontation is to just hit the guy with the car. It's better than shooting him, right?
Yeah, you don't want to shoot him.
I mean, not if you can help it. What sort of meth was that guy on?
God, no kidding. Bath salts.
Yeah. No one has ever been wandering the street nude and been okay. That's never late night nudity is not I've just decided to go for a casual stroll with my dong out. That's never happened.
Do you ever see stories like this and kind of go, God, I hope I don't know them?
No, I've never.
No.
Dad? Really?
Is that you?
That has never once crossed my mind.
Well, I mean, little Schultze's out there, he's having a couple days off. And
he's out naked.
Hopefully not. I just
run over.
Yeah, I worry sometimes.
I've never. Have you ever had someone that been in a big story like that? That would be new to me.
No, but I just,
Yeah.
You know how it is.
It would be.
You always check the names.
It would be surreal. Yeah.
You always look at the mug shots. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Hey, sex offender list, that happened once. I knew someone, it was the brother of a guy I knew, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know where you do you can type in your address and it, kicks people out? We were scanning that one day and I was like, and I called him. I was like, hey, are you aware? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you, but...
It's like, holy God. And they kind of gave me the lowdown. I was like, oops.
Yeah, if you ever go to those websites where it shows where the registered sex offenders are, you will be shocked at how many of them are right around you.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
And in this case, someone that you know. You're like, hey, I know that guy.
So don't let your kids ever go outside ever.
Just keep them indoors.
They hide in the bushes, That is in the news, November 6, 2025, brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Let's get to a little college football today. Today is the anniversary of the very first college football game.
Is it really?
Did you know that?
156
years ago.
Yale and I don't know.
You're close.
Okay.
You're close. But we also have some juicy college football coaching carousel.
Yeah.
Rumors.
Including some with the Beavs.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get to all that coming up next hour here on 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Thursday Night Football is headed to the Mile High as the Denver Broncos will host the Las Vegas Raiders. Broncos looking to stay atop of the AFC West division, currently sitting at first place at 7-2. Denver will be without star cornerback Pat Surtain, who has been nursing a pectoral injury. Former All-Pro wide receiver Antonio Brown has been arrested on attempted murder charges. According to TMZ, Brown was extradited back to the U.S. from Dubai and is being accused of trying to shoot and kill a man at a boxing event earlier this year. The Blazers handed the Thunder their first loss of the season with strong performances from Denny Avdia and Drew Holiday. Holiday with 6 3-pointers, shooting 60% from beyond the arc in last night's performance with the game-sealing free throws as well. They will travel to Miami to face the Heat this Saturday. And Washington Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin scored his 900th goal in the NHL. The goal came in the second period of a 6-1 victory over the Blues. Ovechkin now sits atop the NHL all-time goal-scoring list after breaking Wayne Gretzky's record back in April. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10.
All right, welcome back. Hope you're having a nice little Thursday. It is your sportsmen, your sports bros. I am Isaac. Hello. Big Sook right over there. Look at him. And we've also got Lowercase, who's getting rave reviews on the text line.
Yeah, people like what Lowercase has going on.
The young fella, 24 years old, upstart from Lake Oswego.
Bit of a rough outing today, though.
Lake Ridge High. He's had some mistakes, but you know what? He's young. He's learning. He's doing a great job, and we're happy to have him. He has been in for the last couple of days. And, we've got a big show. Dan Lanning has already come on our show, and he said that he doesn't care about what he's going to be wearing, even if it's cold and raining in, not Ames, Iowa City.
Iowa City. And it does appear that under no circumstances will he put on a beanie.
He said never say never, but, yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
He doesn't like hats.
No. Wonder why that is.
I don't know. You should ask him.
Maybe next time. We'll have to see how that Iowa game goes. If he loses the Iowa, I don't think he's going to be up for hat questions. Probably not.
Yeah, you got to tread lightly.
Got to tread lightly.
You got to know when to pick your spots
Yeah.
on questions such as those.
Got to learn to slip that jab with Lanning a little bit. He's elusive. He's a tough one to wrangle. Got the big Thursday night matchup with Broncos Raiders. Bold statement here. There might not be a team in the NFL that I want to watch less than the Raiders.
They're up there, but I disagree. I think that
I said may.
I think that the Saints are absolutely unwatchable. As a matter of fact, they might be the most unwatchable team I've seen in years.
Saints are tough. That's good. That's good.
Because the Jets are so bad, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's the Jets, and so it's
and
laughing.
Sometimes they rise up like they did against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then, Tennessee's just kind of cute. Like it's Cam Ward. Like you can see the bones of what they're trying to do, but they just suck.
They had a bit of a fire sale too.
Yeah, the Raiders are bad, but
Saints are rolling out.
But they have, the Raiders have Crosby and they have Bowers. The Saints, dude, give me one thing to watch.
Tyler Shuck, baby, come on, the Shuck. There's nothing.
Give me one thing to watch about the Saints.
You are right. You are. That's why I said there may not be, and you have quickly corrected me. Like, there's no reason to watch Denver v. Vegas
until it's good. It's a divisional game.
But if this was the Saints, I'm not even certain I would pull it up on my phone. By the way, the Broncos going with the throwbacks.
I love those.
Oh, it's so good. Once again, make the throwbacks your permanent. Seahawks, I'm looking right at you, and there may be no better juxtaposition than Denver. Although the Seahawks new ones suck too. Like Tampa's at least look good, their new stuff, and the throwbacks are beautiful. But the Seahawks and the Broncos uniforms are both trash, and their throwbacks are two of the best in any sport. They're amazing.
Max Crosby might kill Bo Nix tonight.
Broncos orange, let's ride.
And yet, there's zero chance that the Raiders
they'll lose 31-0.
Yeah, the Raiders will do nothing offensively. Like I'm
4 tutties for Geno last week.
Yeah, it's still the Raiders. Although, they got Brock Bowers back now, and
they traded Myers.
Their offensive line is just so bad.
These division games though, they
Funky
get
things. Happen.
they get weird. The familiarity,
and the Broncos do decide for random like quarters.
They shouldn't have won last week.
They will actively decide for like 2.5 quarters to not be a good offense, and Bo Nix will forget how to play. And then at the end of games, they're like, "Wait, we're good."
I have to ask this question: is the Broncos offense good? Because I don't know that it is.
It's good at times.
So that's a yes or a no? It's not a good offense.
It's competent.
Yes, but that doesn't mean it's good. It's not good.
I want to say it's good. Like
but you can't.
I can't. It's how about
it's
this?
Not good.
It's good enough.
Yeah, well, what are they, 7-2?
7-2.
They should have lost to Houston.
Yes.
CJ Stroud went out.
They've lost to the Colts and the Chargers, but they do have wins. They beat Philly.
Well, that Colts game they should have won.
Yes, they should have won. And
they did win. They just got called for the penalty on the kick.
So they have the win over Philadelphia. They'll take care of business tonight with the Raiders, and then they got that big one next week, and they're at home against the Chiefs. And I think that'll go a long way because their schedule has also been a little soft, right?
Well, the Philly one was weird too because they were getting dominated in that game.
Yes,
and they came back and
won.
Denver is so weird.
That's why, when you ask, are they good?
No, they're offense. Well, they're a good team.
But here's the thing: you could say the same thing about their defense. Is their defense good?
Yes, it's
but
good.
At times their defense is not good.
Well, they have Surtain's out.
Yes.
And that hurts. Their defense is good.
They are wonky. I believe in Denver, and I think Denver can win that division, but I will tell you what. If there is a team that's going to win 11 or 12 games that will get into the postseason that will lose in the first round, I give you the Denver Broncos. I will not trust them come postseason.
Bo Nix, I like Bo Nix, but I can't trust him against better teams.
No. Well,
particularly on the road.
Bo is in this weird category now where we do this. We talk about it all the time. We do this with young quarterbacks. They come out and they show some promise, and immediately we want to elevate them to this elite status. Bo Nix is not an elite quarterback. And honestly, I don't know if Bo Nix will ever be an elite quarterback. But Bo Nix, in the right context, and Denver has a good team around him. He plays good defense, and they've given him some weapons and a good old line. You can win games in this league with Bo Nix, but if Denver is going to win, now is the time. Because if you have to pay Bo Nix $50 million, he will be one of those guys you're like, why the hell are we paying him $50 million? But ideally, in a world where you could get Bo Nix on one of the reclamation quarterback contracts where you're paying him 20, 25, that's beautiful. He's just not. I don't think he'll ever be good enough to make 60 mil and then cover up the holes.
Great little player
that you have when you make 60 million. But for the next 4 years, even 5, there is a real window there in Denver because he's not going to make anything.
All right, let's get back on track here. We will have our college football today coming up next, where there is a surprising name that has surfaced in the coaching carousel, and another school that chooses to keep its coach. We'll get to that, and the college football program that has sold the most booze. We have the latest numbers. So let's get to college football today, coming up next here on 105.1 The Fan. doing 156 years ago today?
God. I don't know. What do you do in the pre-existence? Oh, just like chilling in the cosmos? I don't know.
The year was 1869, Jace. It was on this date.
I would like to make the argument that nothing good happened in, what would you say,
1869.
You want to talk about a time I don't want to live? I give you 1869.
Well, something good did happen on this date in 1869. We had the first ever college football game in the history of Earth.
How about that?
And look today.
Yeah. Also so Ulysses S. Grant was sworn in as the 18th president. Wyoming became the first place to grant women the right to vote. We see how that went.
Wyoming?
Who would have thought Wyoming,
Yeah, that's an
of
upset.
all places? The act of slavery in the Indian Territory was brought to the attention of the public. And the first black person was ever testified before the United States Congress. I was just looking at things that happened in 1869.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
So it was Rutgers against Princeton.
Okay, I figured it was something like that. That it was a
The
Harvard,
first
Yale.
collegiate football game ever. And it says that the game more closely resembled soccer than football. It was played with a round ball and used a set of rules suggested by Rutgers captain William J. Leggett, based on the Football Association's first set of rules, which were an early attempt by the former pupils of England's public schools to unify the rules of their various public schools. Does that make any sense at all?
No, it does not.
The game was played in New Brunswick at Rutgers Field. 2 teams of 25 players attempted to score by kicking the ball into the opposing team's goal. It was basically soccer.
You know what? As much as football has been a part of my life, I can't say I know the origins of football and how it came to be.
Throwing or carrying the ball was not allowed, but there was plenty of physical contact between players. The first team to reach 6 goals was declared the winner, and Rutgers won.
Yeah, and by the way, in my
6-4.
it says that is in the synopsis of what happened in the year 1869.
Yeah, but how does that, like, that's soccer. That's not football.
And so, yeah, how did you eventually decide were we just not good at kicking the balls? So someone was like, screw this, I'm just going to pick it up and run with it? Like I said, I do not know the origins of football. Also, by the way, first professional baseball team was formed in 1869.
Nice. Yeah, so I think what ended up happening here is I'm reading through this. Rugby was also a thing back then.
Yeah.
And they sort of combined the two.
That makes sense.
And it was really all the Ivy League, all the smarty pantses
that played rugby and then eventually turned into
they kind of combined them and had a new code of rules.
Makes sense. I remember at one point it almost got banned because people kept dying.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Roosevelt that ended up saving it because he was a big fan of it. But yeah, they were trying to outlaw it. And it used to be, isn't that weird to think about that football used to be a highbrow only for the elite sport?
Yep. Not anymore.
No.
Now look.
Well, and look
at all those drunk fans in Baton Rouge.
That's why the South loves it so much after the Civil War, the South decided to shove it in the North's face that they could be better at something. They were like, we're going to beat the Ivy Leaguers at their own game. We're going to show them that the poor farm boys can be better than the rich elite academics.
In other college football news, there was a post recently on social medias that made the rounds.
Oh, dude, it broke the internet. The LSU fan boards were going freaking crazy.
Well, that's not where I was going. What are you talking about?
So there was a legitimate rumor that was getting legitimate. It was getting picked up by national media people today. Some LSU message board people that supposedly are tied in and have had information before. They were swearing up and down that Saban was the next coach.
Nicky Saban?
That Nicky Saban was coming to LSU.
I thought you were going to say Lincoln Riley.
No, because that's the other one that came
Lincoln
up.
Riley's name has surprisingly popped up. Josh Pate actually brought him up.
He's the one that kind of dropped the grenade on it, yes.
Yeah, he said on a podcast or something, he said, watch out for Lincoln Riley's name in this cycle.
Yeah, so he didn't say where, and he wasn't that Lincoln Riley was going to get fired. He was insinuating that someone wanted to pull Lincoln Riley out of USC and that USC would not be upset about it and that Lincoln would be looking for a fresh start. So obviously the 3 biggest jobs would be Florida, LSU, and Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're Florida, LSU, or Penn State, are you sniffing around Lincoln Riley? I don't know that. I mean, I think he's a good coach.
Do you believe that Lincoln Riley is the Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma, or do you believe that he's the Lincoln Riley from USC?
I think what you might believe is that Lincoln Riley has run into some roadblocks at USC.
And that's supposedly behind the scenes is what Lincoln Riley is telling people is the operation at USC has not lived up to its end of the bargain.
And that does sort of track.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Lincoln Riley's success before he got there everywhere he was, and then look at how he's done at USC, it is kind of puzzling that he hasn't had more success. And yes, we know that there are way too many cooks in the kitchen at USC, and they're not exactly committal, right?
No.
They were late on all the NIL stuff.
And they've just kind of got that figured out, supposedly.
So I think that it's possible what you're thinking is, hey, Lincoln Riley is a buy low candidate because he's at a school where he's not able to shine. Let's go get him, and we'll be Oklahoma again.
Well, and if you remember when he was...
Because they'll have more resources.
Yeah, when he left for the USC job, the job that everyone thought that he was going to leave for was LSU. Now, if you're Lincoln Riley...
Do you go?
Do you go? In that, if you finally feel like you have things in place at USC, do you stay the course, or is it just one of those where you've seen behind you've seen the kitchen and you don't like it, and so maybe now is the time to just say, hey, before this thing gets ugly, I'm just going to go and get a fresh start. You know, you left Oklahoma for a fresh start, and you certainly could make the argument that the LSU job is an upgrade. I mean, you can make the argument that the Penn State and the Florida job are both upgrades over USC if you believe that they don't have their ducks in a row. I think the Penn State one is actually the more interesting one.
If you're Lincoln Riley, which one would you go to?
Penn State.
If you want to get out of...
I'd go to Penn State.
Yeah, because of the Big Ten.
Because the Big Ten. Well, the argument was that he didn't want to go to LSU and he didn't want to stay at Oklahoma because he didn't want to be in the SEC. I wouldn't want to go through that, especially if my whole MO is that I can't coach defense. I can't put a good defense on the field. I wouldn't want to be in the SEC. I just think the Big Ten's an easier world. I would think at Penn State, they're a little more rational than they are down at Florida and LSU, not by much, but I think they're a little more rational. And I think you are naturally at Penn State. I think you're naturally in the conversation as the third or fourth, although you should be that way at LSU too. The LSU thing and just, their AD right now and all that, I just don't know if that's where I would want to jump in.
I think they're scaring some guys. As a matter of fact, I saw it was USA Today. I forget who the writer was, but he went through and predicted each hire, and he has Joe Brady to LSU.
Yeah.
Which kind of tracks because I think a lot of these bigger time coaches are getting spooked a little bit.
Yeah. There's a lot going on down there. Well, you know that have you seen that now they're backtracking on the athletic director hire? Right? So they made the is it Asbury? Right?
They already hired a guy?
Well, so their interim athletic director. They originally said, "Hey, he's going to be the one to make the hire. He's going to get full control." And then they decided, no. He's just our full. They've made him the athletic director, and that he will be in charge. And then they've kind of rolled that back, and now they're calling him the acting AD. So now we're back to is he the athletic director or is he the acting athletic director? And is he fully in charge of making the hire or is he part of a larger committee? It is really strange.
Well, that's why you end up with Joe Brady.
Yes.
Right there.
If I am Lincoln Riley and my goal is to get out of USC because there's some chaos there and it's just time to leave, I'm not certain I want to jump into possibly a more chaotic situation at LSU. Now, better resources, better commitment, yes. But beyond chaotic, I'm good.
They have Florida getting Lane Kiffin. They have Penn State landing Manny Diaz from Duke.
Yeah, and he was their he was their defensive coordinator at Penn State, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's coached there.
Auburn, they have John Sumrall from Tulane.
See, I wouldn't take that job if I was him.
And then Arkansas, they have Dan Mullen, UNLV.
Yeah.
And UCLA, Tony White, who is at Florida State. And then Virginia Tech is, a lot of the smoke is that James Franklin is going to Virginia Tech.
Yes. And that's a hire that just, if you're Virginia Tech, I think is a home run.
A lot of people saying Stanford will hire Tavita Pritchard. There's been smoke around that for a while. And then Oklahoma State, they have Alex Golch, the guy from South Florida.
And then the one on 3, and I think Beaver Blitz may have had some of this too, is, again, just reports. But on 3 I saw last night was saying from what they're hearing, the 2 leading candidates at Oregon State are Brendan Marion, the Sac State, the go-go guy, and your guy, Paul Christ, seemed to be and they couldn't be further away. One's in his 30s and has been a head coach for all of 1 year at Sac State. Paul Christ, we know his track record, more stable, has worked at Oregon State, and it sounds like, at least according to the reports right now, that those are the 2 leading candidates.
Yeah, I don't know if you could go wrong with either of them, but I think that
It depends on which side of the coin you take. Do you take the young, unproven guy that maybe has the big upside and gets people excited, or do you go with what you and like Bartu were talking about, just the stabilizing force that will probably stay?
I think there's going to be a lot of Oregon State fans that would be underwhelmed by the Paul Christ hire.
Yeah,
but I don't know that you should be. I think the one knock on him is that he's 60, but if you hire him, I know he's a little older.
You feel like he's gonna be there a while.
Well, but he's older.
Yeah.
So the point is like I think a lot of fans would be like, well, how long is a while? Well, even though he's 60, I think you could get 8 to 10 years.
Look, and I'll tell you right now, in the world of college football today, if
That's
you
a
told me
long-ass
whoever you get 6 to 7 years out of, dude, you take that.
Yeah, I mean, and he just did it. He's just done a good job when he's been a head coach.
Yeah, there's some
and he knows Oregon State. He's been there.
Yep. There's some speculation that he kind of dropped the ball at Wisconsin and there was the way that thing ended, but he won a lot of games at Wisconsin and, like you said, familiar with Oregon State. He would be the definition of stabilizing adult in the room and let's even this thing out.
Yeah, the other thing about Lincoln Riley, and a couple people have brought it up on the text line, is that he's buds with all the Texas Tech big boys.
Yeah.
And they're saying if Tech stumbles here, they might try to replace Joey McGuire with Lincoln Riley. And that would be very big oil man type of move there.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. That would be the definition of big swinging D. And I listened to the morning show when they had paid on, and he did say he wouldn't say what job. He goes but he said there's a handful of people that and Pate's really tied in. He said there's a handful of people that he has learned to listen to, that they are not blowing smoke, that they have their trust. And he said independently, like it was 3 guys, he said, that had brought up the same rumor. And he basically made the point of when 3 separate guys like that are hearing things that are that connected, there's real smoke there. So wouldn't that be something?
Well, it would be, but it's also not I mean, it's kind of shocking, but not shocking.
It hasn't worked there the way.
No, USC is kind of a mess.
Yeah.
They're a low-key mess behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so maybe we've been looking at Lincoln Riley's tenure there all wrong.
Yeah.
And we should be looking at it like, hey, he's really stabilized what is otherwise a mess.
I thought he would come in there and hit a home run, and he's hit a double.
All right. That is the latest on the college football coaching carousel. Oh, no, that's not the latest. We have one other bit of news. One coach isn't going anywhere. And then we'll tell you which college football program has sold the most booze. Very important stats.
Yeah.
Coming up next. But first, here's Casey with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Thursday night football is in the Mile High as the Denver Broncos host the Las Vegas Raiders. Broncos looking to stay atop of the AFC West Division, currently sitting in first place at 7-2. Denver is without cornerback Pat Surtain, who has been listed as out with a pectoral injury. That game is currently live as the Broncos just got stopped and the Raiders are taking back over. Former All-Pro wide receiver Antonio Brown has been arrested on attempted murder charges. According to TMZ, Brown was extradited back to the U.S. from Dubai and is being accused of trying to shoot a man at a boxing event earlier this year. The Blazers handed the Thunder their first loss of the season with strong performances from Denny Avia and Drew Holiday. Holiday with 6 3-pointers, shooting from 60% from beyond the arc in last night's performance. to push the Blazers ahead 121-119 over OKC. And Washington Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin scored his 900th goal in the NHL. The goal came in the second period of a 6-1 victory over the Blues. Ovechkin now sits atop the NHL all-time scoring list after breaking Wayne Gretzky's record back in April. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch.
Hey, my Raiders, 7-0.
The PAT. I put nothing past the Raiders.
Ashton Genty with a tutty, dominating the Broncos.
This would be the most Broncos thing ever to lose to the sorry-ass Raiders. Tell you what, it looks good on the field. It's a great uniform matchup.
So one other college football coaching note, and that is that Wisconsin is saying that they are going to retain Luke Fickell.
Yeah. Well,
so he'll be back next year.
The rumor is they don't have the money to buy him out. So
$25 million.
They're like, sorry about that.
Yeah, but I kind of don't buy that because, I mean, how many coaches have they fired since, what's his name? Barry Alvarez.
Not really. I mean, Bielema left. They fired Christ. And so I think Gary Anderson left. Remember, that was that whole thing where Anderson left and it was so weird because, again, Wisconsin was using a good job. Barry Alvarez, I guess, was a difficult guy to deal with. And Gary Anderson had, quote, problems. So I think technically they may have only fired
Christ since Barry. Huh. Because, I mean, I don't know. When a school says, oh, we don't have the money, shut up. You have they always find the
They
money.
always find the money.
I mean, there's money.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody said, Penn State, they'll never fire they owe him too much money. Well, they fired their coach.
Their guy. Now, Lincoln Riley's buyout is rumored to be like, because it's a private school, so we don't know, but it's rumored to be like $80-90 million,
Oof.
which might be the thing is, if USC and him both decide that this isn't a good fit, they may just come to, because his buyout for another school to come and get him, USC may just waive that and be like, dude, just get out of here. This may be one of those where just everyone just needs to move on. But yeah, Barry Alvarez went to Bielema. Bielema left for Arkansas. Anderson left for Oregon State. Fired Christ, and then they had the interim there with Jim Leonard, and then Luke Fickell. So yeah, there's been some. What's weird is you've had two guys that have been quite successful at Wisconsin that have left, right? Like Bielema was 68-24, and Anderson was 19-7.
That's true.
And they were both like,
the USC of the Midwest.
Yeah. Well, I guess again that goes back to I supposedly when Barry Alvarez was there, you were the head coach, but you were not the guy that was in charge of everything. That was Barry Alvarez.
Well, I think he's still kind of involved, isn't he?
Well,
isn't he like Mr. Wisconsin?
Yeah, but he's not the AD anymore. And remember when I think it was when Bielema left and they needed a replacement. You know who he chose to replace him? Himself. He stepped in and was like, I'm taking over. And I just think that was hard for people to work under the thumb of Barry Alvarez.
Well, they're selling a lot of liquor and booze at college stadiums these days. You can never have too much money.
No, it's all about gambling. It's all about liquor. It's brought to you by FanDuel and Anheuser-Busch.
That's right. So Wisconsin, it's interesting we're talking about Wisconsin as I bring this up. This was the social media post that went viral that I was talking about, and that is which football programs have sold the most booze. Yeah. And stunningly, at the top of the list is Wisconsin.
I will tell you right now, no one outdrinks the people from behind the cheddar curtain.
So tell me how they don't have the money to buy out Luke Fickell when the coffers are full from all the booze money.
Well, they did
the bootlegging.
When they did, I think we talked about it, but someone did a map of the 100 drunkest counties in the United States, and 9 of the top 15 are in Wisconsin.
That's right, baby.
No one outdrinks the Badgers.
So this is from a guy named Matt Brown. And he says, schools license their IP to make official beers, earning licensing revenue from bars and gas stations across the state. At sporting events, they sell booze from bottled domestic beers to fancier cocktails. And they hope that booze sales will slow down problematic and dangerous drinking behaviors while maybe also selling a few more bags of popcorn. All of that makes sense, but who does it the best? Who is selling the most booze? To figure this out, we filed open records requests to 45 public institutions at the start of October, asking for total alcohol unit sales numbers for home games in August and September, as well as total revenue. Some schools were unable to share data because they do not control their own concession sales.
Yeah.
That might be because stadium owners control concessions.
Yeah, they farm them out.
Like in the case of UCLA and South Florida, which play in stadiums that other entities own, or because concession sales and operations have been completely outsourced. Other schools like Ohio State are only able to run numbers at the end of the season. A few schools like Memphis and Purdue declined to share data at all.
Well, they're not winning anyways.
But 21 institutions did respond to our request. Here's the data, and we were able to obtain sorted by total revenue. So actually, if you look at total revenue from booze, it's Nebraska.
Oh. Are we seeing a theme here, though, with the Midwest?
Well, don't they have a bigger stadium, too? They have more volume.
No, Nebraska, I think Nebraska and Wisconsin are both 80-something, right? Camp Randall's 80,000 plus.
Big?
Yeah, Camp Randall's
I know
big.
Nebraska's probably 9. You look that up. I'll bet you Nebraska's a little bigger. Anyway, they are saying Nebraska is number 1 in total rev, followed by Tennessee, which totally tracks, and then LSU.
Okay, I would have thought LSU. That's top 5. So, because LSU's got a great reputation. Yeah, Camp Randall's 80,000 and change. Is Nebraska Memorial?
Lincoln, Memorial Stadium. Yeah, I bet you it's 90, 95.
Stadium, Nebraska. Let's look and
92, 91.
Let's see what they got.
91.5.
85 and some change.
Oh, okay. So they're similar.
Is there something to cold weather? Although Tennessee's up there, because I was wondering, if you're in the warmer weather, can you tailgate a little longer? Because remember, this is just in-stadium boozing. If I drink more in the tailgate, am I inclined to drink less in the stadium because I'm already S-faced?
I think that's right, but
I'm wondering.
I honestly feel weather has nothing to do with this. I think it's just the people in these certain places. We know that. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I just was wondering because, like, I'm guessing if you're tailgating at LSU, although most of the Wisconsin tailgates, you're not getting into the real bad stuff to the end of the year. I just wondered if maybe a warm weather would have something to do with it. Like, I think I'm more likely if you ask me which I'm more likely to power drink at, 52 and windy or 79 and sunny.
79 and sunny.
Right? Like
for me it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So LSU, so it goes Nebraska, this is revenue. Nebraska, Tennessee, LSU, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana.
I think it's
we're looking at
I think it's the good Midwest. I think Midwest sensibilities with some chilly weather. You're getting to the stadium and it's like, hey, I'm sitting down and we're doing some power drinking.
Now remember, this is only the schools that were able to reply. Oregon is not on here.
I also find too that I don't ever get drunk at games because the beers are so expensive.
Yeah, it costs a lot of dough.
Like, and maybe I don't know how many beers it takes you to like, but if you're saying that I have to get like, I want to get to a really good place, we're talking 9 to 10 beers.
You need a flask.
Yeah. And at 9 to 10 beers, what's stadium pricing? What are we talking $15 a beer?
I don't know. I don't go to a lot of games.
Yeah, that's not an economical way for me to drink. So that's that whole stadium beer. That's and most of those places don't serve hard liquor, right? It's just beer.
Some do.
Some do.
Yeah, as it said, some serve craft cocktails now. You got to. Yeah. Well, like up in the bougie areas.
Yeah, the bougie areas.
Yeah, they have all that.
Yeah. Someone said, does it depend on how crappy your football team is? That's a good point too. Less to do.
Again.
Am I drinking more?
Again, I don't. I just think we listen. The U.S. isn't that old.
Yeah.
But it's old enough.
Yeah.
We know who parties.
Yeah, we know
okay?
who drinks.
And it's not changing.
No.
It's
What we need is a blood alcohol content. We need like as you're exiting the stadium or entering the stadium, we need people to blow so we can get some empirical data on who's not. It's not how much you're drinking; it's how S-faced you're getting.
And I honestly think too. I don't know what you feel about this, but I think in the Northwest, and I've been to games obviously at in Corvallis, Eugene, and I've been to one in Seattle.
Yeah,
I think that we handle our booze really well. Like, I don't think we get crazy here.
We are not.
Even though somebody, and that is inevitably is going to lead to somebody texting you. He's like, "Oh, dude, I saw this guy hammered at the game."
That's fine, but in general,
generally speaking, you have no idea.
No.
You got to go south, or like we were saying, upper Midwest to see the real.
Yeah. Go to the Indy 500 sometime. Go look at the good people of Indianapolis if you want to see what drinking is about. Yeah. I got a good buddy who's from Wisconsin, and he's in AA. He's been an AA guy for like 20 years. His stories about Wisconsin, like it's just a different animal. It just means more in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's a whole different level.
Also, too, I think the fatties have something to do with it as well.
Well, that's why they're fat.
That's why they're fat.
They drink 8,000 beers.
Bigger people, you can consume more. If you're some skinny, like hot or some fit dude out in California, you got a couple drinks in you and you're like, I couldn't possibly. You find a nice Midwestern butter hog, dude, the evening's not started until we get through 6. And that's the women.
Yeah, that's not even talking about the dudes.
No.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, we will wrap up the hour with a segment entitled Sportsmanship 101, Mississippi High School Edition.
Oh, boy, this is going to be good.
That's next on 105.1 The Fan.
It's time for a Ducks Report, the inside story on Ducks athletics. Brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
Yeah, I think you said it, you focus on stopping the run. If you get them into the situation where they have to throw the ball, maybe throw it long, that's good, but you got to stop the run to get there. So stop the run, be physical up front, just do your job. That's kind of the theme of the week, be physical.
That's Mateo Uiagalelei on slowing down the the juggernaut Iowa offense.
If it's 3rd and more than 3 against Iowa, you're in some trouble. If you're the Hawkeyes, you want 3rd and about 1.5.
Mods PDX, the future of building is here.
If you're considering new construction and want
Okay, Sportsmanship 101. Interested in your thoughts on how this went down.
The fact that you said sportsmanship Mississippi, yeah.
Yeah, Mississippi High School.
That's not
football here.
No, this isn't going to end well. I don't even know anything about this story, but I promise you it doesn't end well.
Okay, well, Washington School, that is a high school in Mississippi, defeated Marshall Academy to advance to the top-tier championship bracket for the Mid-South Association of Independent Schools.
Boy, I'll tell you what, when you battle the Mid-South Independent School region, I mean, that's big boy.
But there was plenty of outrage after the game, and rightfully so. According to the Delta Democrat Times, Marshall Academy, remember they lost the game, sat at least 13 players against Washington. The belief is this was done on purpose because the MAIS has a 2-tier state championship system. So by losing the game to Washington, Marshall Academy secured a spot in the lower tier bracket.
They're doing the old let's take the easy road.
In what can only be described as a redneck move, Marshall head coach Chris Bunyo sat 13 players, refused to attempt an offensive play in the second half.
Love this already.
And lost on purpose. While the move may have seemed brilliant to him at the time, I hope it results in his team being banned from the very thing they hope to accomplish. That from John Alverson of the Delta Democrat Times.
He didn't run an offensive play. They just took knees and punted.
He said, when Washington crossed the 35-point mercy rule in the first half and the clock began to run, Marshall took its time. There were 5 delays of the game penalties in the first half alone. This guy said, I stopped counting the number in the second half. Washington's longest drive of the game came on the opening drive of the second half. They ran 9 plays with the backups in the game and scored. Turner hit, even got a chance to kick the PAT and made it.
I love this.
Apparently, the affairs committee, so apparently there's an affairs committee. Okay, so they have to look at this.
Can we all take high school football just a little less seriously, but continue?
They were fined $7,500, and the coach is now banned from. So they don't get to host their playoff game, and the coach can't coach in the playoffs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for doing this. The affairs committee received multiple reports concerning Marshall. They refused to play. They refused to run plays. It is noted that they refused to run a play in the entire second half. So they basically just kept taking delays of game all the way to the safety, and then they didn't punt it. They wouldn't kick it.
Well,
they refused multiple times to kick off after the safety.
Why didn't this donkey just I've never seen anything quite like this.
No.
Why wouldn't you just play all backups?
Exactly.
And
just
lose on purpose.
Well,
but
apparently this is how they chose to lose, and they got so bad that they called the game. The officials got together and they I guess there's some sort of sportsmanship rule.
Yeah.
The sportsmanship creed, and they refused to honor it, and so they forfeited the game.
It's hilarious. The idea of watching high school parent and coaches lose their mind over this, to me, is hilarious. But I guess I do get where they're coming from. Like, you can lose with some taste and class as opposed to what this dumbass did.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is the point? Like, all you have to do is lose the game.
Yeah, you're just rubbing it in people's face at that point. And I guess you just thought, well, I mean, but I guess there is a rule. I was going to say, there's nothing in the rules that says you have to do any of that, but I guess if there is a sportsmanship rule, then maybe he just wasn't aware of that.
So stupid.
And I'll bet you this guy is a colossal D-wad too. Like, I can just see him being defiant. And
well, this tells us all we need to know about him.
Exactly. Although I do find the story kind of funny. Just the idea of refusing to run a play, just letting the play clock run out each and every time, and just 5 yards at a time until you get back.
So you get a safety, and then you don't punt it.
I do think it'd be funny.
Or free kick it or whatever.
If a game meant nothing to you, high school, collegiate, or otherwise, right? Like, let's take college. This would be even better. If you were the Oregon Ducks, how bad could you lose? If you were like, all right, boys, Cancun on 1, 2, 3 Cancun. We need to lose, and we need to lose in the worst possible way. How bad could you make that loss?
Well, I mean, the only way... Well, I guess you could do. So I was thinking you could get a safety, and give up a touchdown every drive, or every time. So that's 9 points every. But then you could just put the ball on the turf and let them scoop it and score, so you could actually give up 14.
Could you snap it and then turn and hand it to a defensive lineman and be like, "Here, dude, just take this," and go? Could you lose like 300-0 with like 8 seconds of possession?
I mean, I guess you could. I mean, if the other team played along, you could.
Yeah, and to be fair, this guy's saying, hey, the guy found a loophole, beat the system, good for them.
Not really,
Well,
though.
I mean, there was a loophole, and he did exploit it. He just exploited it too well.
No, he exploited it. Oh, my God. He exploited it poorly because he got him. Like, you didn't have to go that far.
No.
All you had to do was lose the game. Just resting the 13 guys could have lost you the game.
He pulled an Icarus and he went too close to the sun.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
He doesn't even know how to lose right.
No. I appreciate the commitment to losing, but you're right in that you gotta Maybe he just thought it was hilarious. I would give anything to have been like on the sidelines when people eventually figured out what was going on. Like how long before someone was just like, what is happening? And then they just call the game off. The officials are just like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done with this.
Well, there was no action. Like they refused to punt it.
It was like back in the day when there was no shot clock. Teams would how is
Four
this
corners, baby.
4 corners. People would just stand it and just hold the ball. That great the basketball team that Hoosiers is based on. I think it's Miriam High School or something. In the movie, it's Hickory, but that's not what it is in real life. That Hoosier story is real, and I guess in the second half, the Hoosiers team held the ball for like 8.5 minutes. They just stood for 8.5 minutes and ran it. Or didn't run anything, they just stood there. So you couldn't put that in the movie, otherwise it'd be a little, be a boring movie. And yet it happened. How is that any different than what these guys did?
Yeah.
And one's a hero that gets a movie made about him with Gene Hackman, and this poor bastard's getting suspended.
Based off of 1954 Milan High School.
Milan, yeah.
Milan.
And they got to the second half, and it was close, and so they just instructed the guy, hey, hold it at mid-court and just stand there. And so for just 8-9 minutes or whatever, they just stood there and were like, let's let this thing bleed down. It's called being smart. It's what smart people do to win or lose games.
All right, I've got a follow-up on the UPS plane crash.
That is horrifying.
It is
footage.
It is wild. And Sandwich Guy wins in court.
Oh, I love sandwiches.
Club is coming up next here on The Fan.
Now, From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Thursday Night Football is in the Mile High as the Denver Broncos are hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. Broncos looking to stay atop of the AFC West division, currently sitting at first place at 7-2. The Raiders were the first to get on the board with an Ashton Genty rushing touchdown, and former Ducks center Jackson Powers Johnson just exited the game with an ankle injury as Vegas currently leads 7-0. That game is currently in the second quarter as the Broncos just punted the ball back to Vegas. Former All-Pro wide receiver Antonio Brown has been arrested on attempted murder charges. According to TMZ, Brown was extradited back to the U.S. from Dubai and is being accused of trying to shoot a man at a boxing event earlier this year. The Blazers handed the Thunder their first loss of the season with strong performances from Denny Avia and Drew Holiday. Holiday with 6 3-pointers, shooting 60% from beyond the arc last night to seal the win 129-119 over OKC. And the Washington Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin scored his 900th goal of his career in the NHL. The goal came in the second period of a 6-1 victory over the Blues. Ovechkin sits atop the NHL all-time goal-scoring list. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday morning 6 to 10. Hoo-wee.
Oh, dear. Welcome to the club.
Someone asked on the text line, does Brock Bowers have the worst hair in sports? And the answer is yes.
By the way, this game is a mess.
Yes. Bo Nix 2 for 4 for 19 yards.
Yeah, the Raiders are winning 7-0. Yeah. We've got shanked punts.
It's not.
It's a mess. Yeah.
And Brock Bowers' hair. I can't take him seriously.
He wears a helmet, thankfully.
Yeah, every time they show him, though, and he's got that thing off, just shave it, Brock. Just shave it, man. Just be done.
I'll get to Sandwich Guy in a moment, but I tell you this, tell you what.
A lot of people.
Tell you what, that UPS flight,
yeah,
the UPS plane that crashed.
Yeah, the explosion.
In Louisiana, God.
You're doing great.
No, I'm really not. In Louisville.
Yeah.
Is nuts.
Yeah.
They are now saying 12 dead, 9 more missing. Although I don't know how many of those people. I think they just said 3 people were on the plane.
Yeah, who else died?
Well, I think it left like a scorched earth wake on the ground. It hit a bunch of businesses and.
Yeah, I guess when I first saw it, I assumed it was just at the airport, but yeah.
No, I mean it went into It messed up a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and like when I watched that, why did my man try to take off? His engine was on fire.
Well, he didn't. Yeah, so
you didn't know your engine was on fire.
Well, I don't know what you do because you're running. You're barreling towards the end of the runway. You got to try to lift it, don't you?
Your engine's on fire.
Well, what are you going to do? Go barrel into the end of the runway and whatever businesses are down there? You got to try to lift it.
Is there no emergency? Like, you're on the idea.
Pull the e-brake?
Again, where's the Schnitzel Wolf? I guarantee right now he'd be like, oh, let me tell you, because apparently he's an aviation expert.
He's a big aviation guy.
The idea of taking off, the idea of like, well, I guess we're taking off, when one of your engines is on fire and not like a little smoke, it's engulfed in flames, seems insane to me. Now, I'm not a pilot. I don't know what to do in that situation.
I just don't think he had a choice. You have to try to lift up.
According to Schulte, who told me this on Tuesday, the SOP is that you have to pull up because they have to try to dump all the fuel. Otherwise, it's too heavy to try to land, and then
try to land. They were on the ground. He was on the ground. He had not lifted off, and the plane was on fire.
Yes.
Okay, so I love how Schultz like standard operating procedure. My God, is there anything that guy isn't an expert in? Him and Danny should get together and do a show where they're both experts in everything.
Call it the expert.
Call it the expert. There you go. I just launched our new show, The Experts, with the Schnitzel Wolf and Danny. There's nothing that they're not an expert at.
So there's dash cam video of this guy's like sitting at an intersection in his car, and this plane comes out of nowhere, and it's just he's like right there.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see it's trying to take off without an engine.
Yeah.
Then you go back and later they show the video of the engine just sitting on the side of the runway.
Just there.
It just dropped out of the plane like a fetus.
Don't mind me.
So apparently there was a fire on the wing, and they don't know what caused that, but that's what caused the engine to detach and fall off.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, it's like, what do you know? I mean, is that like, I don't know, man. Short of being 30,000 feet in the air and presented with a major malfunction, is this the worst case scenario for a pilot?
I would assume
because
so.
what the hell? You have three options.
Yeah.
You can go barreling into whatever's at the end of the runway.
Yeah.
You can try to take off and hope that you can somehow get somewhere to
I guess,
crash land.
I guess that would be the theory: is you get up in the air, dump fuel, circle back, and try to land. Right? I mean,
well, okay, so those are your two options.
Right.
What's your third option? Like, what do you
praying to God? I don't know. I mean, how about a tuck and roll sort of maneuver? Can you pull like an A-team,
dude,
where you just open the window and kind of like
do what they did in flight and flip the plane upside down?
Yeah, that worked. You gotta be drunk in order to do that. I don't know. As I watched that video, I just thought to myself, it seemed like, and again, I don't know, because you can't see from the video how long the runway is, but it was kind of crazy that it seemed like he was going, and I wanted someone to be like, dude, your engine's on fire, and he's like, I got this. Like, you just pull up. I assume that there's an e-brake or something on that thing where you can try to slow it. I don't know, something.
I like the visual of like and the plane just skidding towards the end of the runway because the guy pulls a lever.
Look, all I know is in my naive mind, and it probably is, this is probably the dumbest thing. And again, the Schnitzel Wolf and other aviation experts are like, you moron. The idea of me, if you just put me in a plane and they're like, hey, have you taken off yet? No, I'm attempting to. Dude, your plane is on fire. The last thing in my mind that I would do is, let's gain elevation. That seems like the worst place to be when you're on fire. I think being on the ground and on fire, greater than being in the air and on fire.
Is it possible that the pilot did not know that he didn't have the engine? He just saw the fire. I mean, surely he saw the fire.
He had to.
Or was getting alarmed to the fire.
Yes.
But is it possible that he didn't know that he didn't have the engine?
Yeah, maybe. I would like to think that there's a sensor for everything, and there's a sensor for you have no engine. Or is it like when the warning light comes on and you're not aware of what the warning means in your car? He's like, hey, we've got an engine problem. What's the problem? It's back there on the ground.
But yeah, this texter's right. It's like, imagine a plane taking off going east out of PDX and doing what that plane did.
Yeah.
That's like, think about all the cars on 205. Yeah. Think about Airport Way. Yeah. Think about all the businesses over there. There's a Costco over there.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. Yeah. Like, dude, you know how many people
you're
would die?
You're at Danner just trying to pick yourself up some new hiking boots, and now you got a UPS plane that just. And I'm guessing when that thing hits, like you said, it just spreads
Did you see that fireball?
Half a mile of just.
It's like a tornado.
Yeah, it's awful.
Now, they said that the plane was 34 years old.
Yeah.
And in plane terms, that's pretty old.
Yeah, it was pretty ancient. And it was a passenger jet that had been converted to a UPS plane?
Yeah, well, a lot of times they do that when they get older. They convert them.
Yeah.
It's an MD-11. And the MD-11s, they say, have the second worst safety rating of any commercial aircraft.
Sounds great.
And
Let's go.
this particular plane was recently grounded for over a month because it had a crack in the fuel tank.
Oh, my God.
So, but it had flown previously. So this one, I think that was headed to Honolulu.
Yeah.
And it had flown from L.A. to the East Coast back to Louisville before it was headed back to Honolulu. So it was, it had been back up in the air. It wasn't just fresh off of maintenance.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Whew.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And that video is absolutely
terrifying.
Shocking.
Well, I think about this because I go over the 205 bridge every day. And most days there is a plane taking off or landing. For the most part, landing. And I think about it every time I see one. Because they're always coming down, and I always think, what happens if that thing just, I can't help it. Like, what if that thing just goes down right in front of me? And I'm sure someone out there was like, hey, look at that plane. Oh, there it is. And if that thing's coming towards you, you can't get out of the way. That's just nightmare. That's Final Destination type stuff.
You've got me thinking, and you're over there more than I am.
Yeah.
Do they take off going east at PDX? Because I feel like they're always landing.
Yes. I almost, and I don't know this because, again, I'm not Schultzy, but I almost always, whenever I'm going south.
Yeah.
They're always
flying over you, going east?
to the airport. Yes, they're landing.
So that's west.
Yes.
I'm saying east.
I do not think so.
Because I feel like...
I think you take off east, and then if you're going, you circle. Like, you make the turn. I don't think they take off that way. At least in my mind, I only see them landing.
Here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yes, that's what I'm saying. I only see them going west, like coming down. I'm never on 205 and see them taking off going east, but maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just not up there that much.
Again, that may be... And I when you said that, I'm like, no, I always see them landing going west. You know who's going to answer this for me? AI.
Schnitzelwolf.
Yeah.
Oh.
Schnitzelwolf.
All right, well, it's nuts. Sad deal. 12 people dead, 9 people missing.
According to Google AI, it says east or west depending on the wind direction.
The wind,
so it doesn't
Spring
matter.
or summer, it's land and take off towards the west. Fall and winter, take off towards the east.
Yeah, better lift.
There you go. Into the wind. I don't know why I just always notice them. And maybe it's just because that's the one that, like...
It does always seem like they're landing,
always seem like they're landing from that direction. Because I always am like, God, what if that thing crashes right now? Because they seem to be coming down at a pretty good clip.
Well, you know how many people were saying that in Louisville that worked right over by the airport? They're like, what if one of these planes crashed? Well, it did.
Yeah. Someone said, I worked for UPS as a ramp supervisor at PDX for 10 years. The UPS pilots hate flying the MD-11. They call it the Mad Dog.
Yeah, it's not a good plane, apparently.
Yeah. Isn't it sad when you read about that, like, and you realize that
could have been avoided?
The only reason that plane was in the air is because it was cheap and they didn't want to
spend
replace
some
it.
money.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that planes lasted. I guess I don't know. Sometimes you get on a plane, like just a commercial jet, or a plane, and you realize how old it is, and you go, God, did I fly this thing in 1985 too?
Yeah. It always makes me feel good when you get on the plane.
Yeah, the new ones.
And the new ones, and it's got all the nice outlets, and you're like...
But I don't think they change the planes. I think they just upgrade the interior, don't they? So I never knew how long they kept planes in circulation. But apparently 34 years is a pretty long-ass time.
Well, I know when that Russian hockey team crashed a number of years ago in the KHL, which is the second biggest hockey league in the world, there were a bunch of reports saying under no circumstances should you fly out of Russia because all of their planes basically would not be cleared to fly anywhere else in the world. That they keep planes forever. And it's just these old janky sorts of things. But for the most part, to fly into like a lot of these international airports, you do have to have certain, there's certain requirements. And it's still a very safe way to travel. It just sounds like this one
rough
may have been preventable, or at least shouldn't have been flying this, and ideally.
According to Google AI, the average commercial planes remain in circulation for an average of 25 to 30 years.
Okay. So this one certainly was on the older side of things.
All right, up next, Sandwich Guy wins.
Yeah.
On the Fan.
The Portland Trailblazer season started with a twist.
citizens and authorities. You know, it's been a lot in the news.
Well, that's what happens when you're at war, for God's sakes. It's tough out there in those streets. I mean, Casey had to grow up in freaking Lake Oswego. You imagine what he's seen on a day-to-day basis? No wonder he turned to a life of crime and rap. My God.
Hey, I tell you what, high school parking lot, that jam slaps. I listened to it last night. I loved it.
You were feeling it?
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Talented guy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, I bring this up because, and we talked about this when it happened. Do you remember the guy in D.C. who got arrested because he threw a Subway sandwich?
And an ICE officer, right?
It was a federal, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was one of the ICE
Was it
guys.
ICE?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he yelled at him and then threw a sandwich at him and took off.
Yeah, and then he started running. He threw a sandwich at him and he started running. And then, of course, they take off after him as if they've been so wronged.
Freaked out. Yeah, Mike Johnson was like, you will not assault our officers. They charged him with multiple felonies, and the judge laughed at him.
Dude, that went to trial. They just wrapped up a trial. I followed the report. It was actually pretty funny to read the reporter reporting in real time on what they were saying at the trial.
Yeah.
And trying to prove that, it's actually assault when you throw a harmless sandwich at someone.
Hey, it depends on what kind of cold cuts you're dealing with there. I mean, that could be a hefty sandwich.
And I want to say that there was one point where they said he was left smelling like onions and mustard or something.
Is this like when the Scotty Scheffler, the injured pants? He ripped
the guy's pants, yeah.
The trousers.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So apparently the feds are really trying to stick it to people who mess with them. And on one hand, I understand that. But on the other, dude, it was a Subway sandwich. And if you see the video, it just bounces off his chest and falls to the ground.
You can't be out there throwing cold cuts.
Anyway, the guy's name is Sean Dunn. He was a 37-year-old. He's an ex-Department of Justice employee who threw the sandwich. This was, again, in Washington, D.C. He was found not guilty of misdemeanor assault by a jury in Washington, D.C. today.
Well, originally they tried charging him with felonies, and the prosecutor or the judge laughed. It was like, get the F out of here. They charged him with some misdemeanors. They still went after it. He went to trial and he won. I mean, you know what you should do in that case? You should be forced to apologize and pick up an hour worth of trash and be like, dude, don't be a dip-ass. Go do something else.
His lawyers argued at trial that the sandwich tossing incident was blown out of proportion by the feds and that it was a harmless gesture at the end of him exercising his right to speak out. He is overwhelmingly not guilty.
Not just not guilty, overwhelmingly not guilty.
The panelists heard testimony from the cop that said he could feel the hoagie's impact through his ballistic vest.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding. This was at trial.
You could feel the hoagie's impact?
He said it kind of exploded all over. You could smell the onions and mustard.
I just like that you could feel the impact. Boy, you want to talk about a soccer level of overreaction. I've been hit! 45, no. Subway cold cut. Hey, was that a foot long too? It's one thing if it's a 6-incher, but my God, if it's a foot long, you'd be in some trouble.
He also said he found onions strewn all over his police radio, and his shirt was stained yellow from the mustard.
This is like the pants. Who's going to replace that man's shirt? Good thing ICE has a gajillion-dollar budget we just gave him. They're handing out $50,000 signing bonuses. Something tells me we can get our guy here a new shirt.
Do you know that he now wears a patch on his uniform that reads "felony footlong"?
What?
His coworkers gave it to him. They put it on his uniform.
Oh, the police
cop.
officer?
Yeah, the cop.
Okay, the cop.
Yeah.
Felony footlong.
Now Dunn was fired. He was employed at the time.
Yeah.
The DOJ. Yeah, they fired him.
That makes sense. Look, I'm saying you can't throw stuff at officers. I get it. There's repercussions. The guy lost his job. Fine. But the idea of being a felon, not being able to vote, not being able to leave the country because you got a little loose, you lost your temper, and you threw a sandwich at someone? F off. Dude, lighten up, Sally.
Attorney General Pam Bondi announced the Dunn arrest at the time and said it was an example of the deep state tossing cold cuts at
the deep state.
The feds, yes.
That's where we're at, the deep state?
That's what she said.
So eating the pedophile ring, like drinking blood and throwing sandwiches. We are no longer a serious country. We're just not. We really aren't.
What makes you say that?
We've officially jumped. We've Fonzarelli'd the S out of this. From the National Guard to this, we're just not a serious country. We're just not. Don't get any ideas, people. Don't throw sandwiches at the police.
Hey, did you see who Diddy's palling around with in
prison?
In prison.
Did he get 4 years? Something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he got like 4 years.
He's in prison.
3, 4, yeah.
And there were some photos of him in the prison yard. You know, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Diddy out there.
I would assume so.
Being all, molesty.
Yeah. What do we, I don't know who he's hanging out with.
He got 50 months.
50 months.
How many years is that?
Well, a little over 4.
Yeah, a little over 4.
Thank you.
His 4 would be what, 48 months?
Yeah, 4 and 2 months.
A famous Portland Trailblazer.
Really?
Yes.
Is getting loose with Diddy?
Yeah, he was photographed with Diddy in the prison yard.
What Portland Blazer is a federal inmate?
Any guesses?
Who? I'm trying to think. Who? Well, we had the one guy that got the old Kansas guy that got raped, but that wasn't federal. He'd be in a state pen. Who was it? Was that Macklemore? Who was the Blazer that got? Yeah,
Ben Macklemore.
Ben Macklemore. But that should be a state thing. This would be I don't know what Blazer has committed federal crimes.
None other than the great Sebastian Telfair.
Telfair's in federal prison?
Yes.
For what?
I don't know. He's out there though.
Really?
Bassy and Diddy hanging out in the prison yard.
Sebastian Telfair?
Swapping stories.
Well, I bet they're swapping something else.
What does that mean?
Well, Diddy's got he does things. Sebastian Telfair is a little fella. He's victim weight.
He's currently serving 6 months at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey.
For what?
For violating terms of his supervised release in a healthcare fraud case.
Oh, okay. There's the federal. It probably was over multiple states. Can you imagine, like, you're Telfair and you're just a small time, you're there and there for a couple months, and, like, Diddy rolls out? And does Diddy know who Sebastian Telfair is? Or does Telfair roll up and have to, like, hey, man.
That's a good question.
Like, you know how I get down.
I don't know. Well, isn't Diddy from New York?
Yeah.
Because, he knows Sebastian. Sebastian Telfair was like
legend.
He was like the legend of the playgrounds.
Yeah,
in
he's on the cover of SI. I
New York City.
wonder who made that introduction. I wonder if Diddy went up to him or Telfair to Diddy. Is there freakouts in prison? I'm guessing Diddy's like worth $1 billion. I'm guessing he has a lot of sway. If you're Telfair, I think you probably hitch your wagon to Diddy. You're in financial problems.
Wouldn't that be cool though if you're in prison and Diddy is running around out there with you?
Did you know what Diddy was accused of doing and with men? I'm not certain that you want to be cozying up to Diddy. You don't.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, Diddy was known to take men that weren't into that and make them be into that.
Yeah.
And last time I checked, prison has a reputation for taking men that aren't into that and forcing them to be into that. I don't think you want to be cozying up to Diddy when you're little tiny Sebastian Telfair.
Yeah, I didn't think that through, did I?
No, you did not.
But I was just thinking like how boring, is prison,
I'll
same
take
old day.
boring prison.
Same old thing. And then all of a sudden Diddy shows up and you're like, maybe this is my ticket.
Well, a wiser man than me once said this about prison, which is why it's so terrifying. What's the number one thing that people are afraid about when they go to prison? So the number one thing you hear.
Well, I think we all know what you're...
Prison rape, right?
Yeah.
Why is that so uncomfortable to say?
Well, it's just a...
If we're all scared of that and that's the number one thing, realize that there's people out there, their favorite thing about prison is all the prison rape. They're like, yeah, I'm in prison, all the raping I can do. That's the terrifying part about prison. For every person that's terrified about it, there's one other person that's like, hell yeah. I know what time it is.
Yeah, well,
and now you've got a guy that's in prison with a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of sway that just cozied up to you. Be careful, Sebastian. Well, it does bring up a question. Serious, was that Subway sandwich toasted? because then the bread does have a little more,
A little sharper edge.
little chutzpah to it, right? Like if you're gonna get hit with a cold cut, you want it to be soft bread. But if that thing was toasted, that could be more of a, plus the cheese could hold the top and the bottom together, the melted cheese. So again, now you've basically formed a torpedo missile. Could be dangerous.
Well, he was acquitted. All right. Coming up next, do we have more evidence that the Kardashians are trolling all of us?
After, what was the ultimate bush?
Full bush Skims.
Full bush. Still can't buy
We
them.
have the vagina lollipop.
Yep.
I mean, dude, they are trolling us.
Kind of like it.
And we have the latest
We got another one.
piece of evidence that that's what's happening. Coming up next. First, here's Casey.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Thursday Night Football is in the Mile High as the Denver Broncos host the Las Vegas Raiders. Broncos looking to stay atop of the AFC West Division, currently sitting in first place at 7-2. Bo Nix just tied the game back up with a passing touchdown to Troy Franklin. That game is currently in the second quarter with the Broncos tying the game up at 7 apiece. Former All-Pro wide receiver Antonio Brown has been arrested on attempted murder charges. According to TMZ, Brown was extradited back to the U.S. from Dubai and is being accused of trying to shoot a man at a boxing event earlier this year. The Blazers handed the Thunder their first loss of the season. Strong performances from Denny Avdia and Drew Holiday. Holiday with 6 3-pointers, shooting 60% from beyond the arc in last night's performance, with game-sealing free throws to get the Blazers the win, 121-119. And Washington Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin scored his 900th goal in the NHL. The goal came in the second period of a 6-1 victory over the Blues. Ovechkin now sits atop the NHL all-time goal-scoring list after breaking Wayne Gretzky's record back in April. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Ducks Game Day.
So I am convinced that the Kardashian family, led by Kim,
No, it's
or no,
the mom.
yeah, what's her name? Kris
Chris.
Kardashian.
Who's doing like a great reverse aging thing.
She looks pretty good.
She's getting better and better. She was kind of nightmare fuel for a while. Looked like she was melting. And I don't know what she's doing, but she's looking way, way better.
Well, similar to your Michael Jordan theory that in his Hanes commercial.
Yeah. It was a troll.
Yeah, it was either a troll or a bet.
Yes.
And it was like, hey, do you think I could wear a Hitler mustache in my Hanes commercial and still sell undies?
I believe that was that.
Because otherwise, why else would you have a Hitler mustache?
There's no way he just decided to wake up one day and have a Hitler mustache in a commercial.
And then wear it for a Hanes commercial.
And it worked.
Which was going to air all over the country.
Yep.
And perhaps even the world.
Yep.
So you have that theory about Jordan. I have this theory about the Kardashians because they are putting out absolutely absurd products. And I think what they're doing, they're so rich that they're just sitting around going, what is the dumbest thing we can put out? And people will buy it.
So the Vagina Lollipop sold out. They put out a thong with artificial bush hair on it, and they called it the Ultimate Bush, and it sold out. You can't buy them.
Yes.
I tried to go online to buy a pair for my lady. Can't. Sold out.
Different colors of pubes.
Yes.
Like it's a whole thing.
I was thinking about going with a redheaded one, but apparently that's the most popular.
So here's the latest. And I'm sure you haven't watched this.
No.
I certainly haven't. But they are calling Kim Kardashian's new TV show the worst TV show of all time.
That's a bold statement. That's a very, very bold statement.
It was done by someone named Ryan Murphy. And it says, Ryan Murphy's glossy, star-packed new show has received some of the most shocking reviews we've seen for a long time, including many zero-star takes.
What's the show called? I want to know what zeros, because I've watched a lot of bad movies. I sometimes that's just like I'll sit down and I'll find the worst looking movie, but 0 stars.
Yeah, that's behind a paywall. Hold on.
Damn it.
Rat farts.
I'm looking up Kim Kardashian.
Hold on.
news
It's
show.
called All's Fair. That's the name of the show.
Okay.
It's on Hulu. It's a legal drama where she plays.
Oh, so it's not reality TV.
No.
She's acting?
Yes, she's acting.
Oh my God.
Yes. It's called All's Fair, and it's gotten 0 ratings. Reviews. Like,
is it wrong that I kind of now am going to need to watch an episode of this?
It has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. 0.
And there's a 10 on IMDb.
What is it?
3 out of 10.
Yeah, apparently there's a bunch of stars in it. Like Reese Witherspoon's in it, and some other people.
Oh my goodness.
Naomi Watts. Glenn Close is in it.
BuzzFeed, Kim Kardashian's new legal show had 0% Rotten Tomatoes, so I watched it to see how bad it was. Maybe, look, this is genius because I would never tune into this, but now that you're telling me that it's got 0 stars, 0 tomatoes, I kind of now want to watch it.
Jessica Simpson is in it, and by the way, if you haven't seen her lately,
she looked good too.
No, she had some bad plastic surgery done. Dare I say, even botched? I don't know. She looks.
Well, maybe she needs to get with Chris's gal.
You won't recognize her. At any rate, I had this story popped up, and there were all these reviews. I wanted to read them to you, and now I can't find them.
Oh my God!
I told you.
That's not Jessica Simpson.
That is Jessica Simpson.
What did she do?
Well,
dude, that is. Are we sure that's not a bit for the show?
That's her.
Oh. Ooh.
A good fella.
That I feel bad for her. Like, she was stunning. She's like one of the most beautiful people. You would never know that is. You would never know that that's Jessica Simpson. There's just no way you would ever know. Ew. She plays a character, by the way, that gets revenge on her ex-boyfriend by dousing him in sulfuric acid after she caught him cheating on her with a younger girl. Wow. Ew.
I'm looking for the reviews, and now I can't find. I screwed up the whole bit, but I mean, come on, aren't they doing a? Is this another piece of evidence that? Like, dude, she's now acting in the worst show. They're calling it the worst show of all time, like the worst ratings ever.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to buy that they're trying to put this out as like something good. They're trolling us.
Well, she can't act. Now, and I will tell you, tonight, I got nothing on tonight.
You gonna watch it?
Well, there's no Blazers tonight, no meaningful football. The Thursday night game is terrible. It'll be over, as soon as I get home. I will take this for a spin. Now, I feel like Glenn Close is in it. How bad can it be?
Bad.
I need to see this.
The Guardian says Kim Kardashian's divorce drama is fascinatingly, existentially terrible.
Yeah. Do they have some of the reviews on there?
I'm reading through this person here, and this is from BuzzFeed. Apparently, the series, you'll love this. It is all about female empowerment, and it is very heavy-handed. And she says it's vaguely insulting.
Only vaguely.
This show is the mental equivalent of being in your pajamas and ordering a Domino's pizza at 3 p.m.
Wait, what? What does that mean?
You're not going to do it every day, but what the hell, why not?
Okay, does that mean it's worth a watch?
I don't know. Yeah, I am very much intrigued by what this is bringing to the table because it has huge stars in it. I mean, like, these are big name, like, real actors. Sarah Paulson's in this?
Yeah, the director guy responded. He said, hopefully opinions will change, but if they don't, then they don't. What we are all doing excites us, and we stand by it. I think the show holds a mirror up to each person who watches it.
Hey, Rotten Tomatoes, it's up to 5% now.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I lost these. I had the reviews all teed up, and damn it, why is it that sometimes you can get a article and it's not behind a paywall, and then when you go back to the article, it's behind the paywall? Why?
I don't know.
Explain that.
I think they allow you so many
The free ones?
The free ones. I have one here. It says, if you haven't subjected yourself to the 3-episode premiere of All's Fair, I have a challenge for you. Break out a stopwatch and start the timer for the moment the action begins to see how long it takes you for your jaw to detach from the rest of your face.
Wow. I might give it a spin, too. I've been looking for a show to watch.
It said my chin sinks out when it hit me that Naomi Watts, Sarah Paulson, Glenn Close, award-winning and highly acclaimed actresses all agreed to be in.
Exactly. And by the way, Glenn Close is defending it, apparently. She's out there now like, hey.
Well, the thing is, I think it's so much about women empowerment that I think they're trying to... I think that's their thing, is like, yeah, it's for women and it's the patriarchy. We're taking it down.
Well, anyway. Again, I will...
Apparently the fashion in it's pretty good.
I will continue to compile evidence to suggest that the Kardashians are trolling all of us.
Yeah.
Because I think they are.
Well, I'm telling you, tonight when I go home...
I want a scathing review
I
tomorrow.
will give this a spin.
All right. We'll wrap it up next on The Fan.
Dirt and Spray. Dirt and Spray.
I'm Dirt. Seattle is starting to open my eyes a little bit, man. We knew they were good defensively. We knew they had an elite front. We knew that side of the ball was going to be good. Their head coach, that's his DNA. The biggest question about them in the offseason was what can their offense look like and what do they get out of the quarterback position? And as somebody who was pro Darnold over Geno, I'm taking some victory laps right now because that guy's playing at an MVP level.
The home of Dirt and Spray. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on the Fan Sports Network.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
A blown left headlight is making Erica's drive to her son's soccer game darker and darker. So she goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Where a friendly AutoZoner finds her 2 new bulbs.
These lights have the most clarity.
And helps her get back on the road so she can brighten her drive and the cheering section.
All right, all right.
See clearer and drive safer with new lights. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from
I did find in the review, this lady says, the writing ranges from the level of softcore porn when the main character, Liberty, says, my flight was turbulent and so is my mood.
Black Dawn.
And then this one, she says that I'm not making this up. If you don't give us what we want, everything we want, those eggs will never see the inside of Alora's hoo-ha because I will personally slather them in A1 steak sauce and eat them with a side of fries while she's dangling her frozen embryos over a dinner plate.
What?
Yeah. Apparently these two lawyers are fighting. One somehow gets the other one's frozen embryos.
Now, who gets to deliver that line? Is that Kim?
That's Sarah Paulson. Threatening,
What?
I believe, threatening Kim.
Well,
If
give
you
it-
don't
give it a watch.
Those eggs will never. I like that she says we'll never see the inside of Alora's hoo-ha. So sounds
What?
like great writing.
What?
Although the guy that made it, like he did American Horror Story, like he's like a real.
Again, that's why I think they're trolling us. What's to stop Kim from being like, "Hey, Ryan Murphy, I know you're really good at what you do, but listen, I'm gonna let you in on the joke. I'm gonna pay you a bunch of money. I want you to write the worst thing you can possibly write.
It's kind of genius.
And I'm gonna act in it.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's gonna sell $1 trillion because I'm in it.
It's kind of genius.
And Glenn Close is in it.
And get Glenn Close to defend it, and away we go.
I'm telling you, I'm onto something.
You're feeling it.
Random club question. When your wife is out of town and you have the bed all to yourself, does it change the way you sleep? In other words, do you deliberately sprawl out or do you pretty much stay on your side anyway? I go the latter. I don't change.
No, I would say maybe I sleep a little bit more towards the middle, but I wouldn't say necessarily sprawl out. Like when I was single and I just had my own bed, did you sleep in the middle of the bed?
No,
Yeah.
never.
Yeah, you usually take a side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I always just stay on that side.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. Now, my wife always says she sleeps terrible when I'm not there,
Yeah, she says the same thing.
but I can't. I have to admit, I sleep just fine without her.
Well, at some point, I don't know about you, but like I'm fine. You need a cuddle, you want some butt rubs, whatever it is that you need to soothe yourself. But at some point in the evening, I roll over to the other side.
Right in the butt.
And quite frankly, if she's getting a little squirmy, I pillow wall her. And she hates it, but I do.
Do you?
I keep we have like an extra large long pillow.
Well, what does that do? Don't you just feel the pillows then?
No, I just block her. I just shove it between us.
Well, I know, but then you would still feel the pillows, would you not?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of the pillows?
It keeps her from rolling over and touching me.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the pillow wall.
What love?
Yeah. Well, at some point, she is she's got like the Jimmy legs and the Jimmy arms, and she flails a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm a light sleeper, so.
Does it hit you in the head?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, get yourself I got one of these big Costco pillows, and it's not a body pillow, but it's larger than a normal one. And if she's a little uppity, I just throw that bad boy down, and then she gets very angry. She's like, "You're not pillow walling me." I'm like, "You'll be asleep. You won't know any different." That sucker goes right up. But yeah, when she's gone, it's fine. But yeah, she claims. In fact, she can't sleep unless I'm in the bed. So like, if I'm downstairs and I'm playing like video games and it's ready for her to go to bed, I need to go up and lay down beside her and I'll just play around on my phone or something. Otherwise, she can't go to sleep. She's got like FOMO. She's got like, fear of missing out.
What a beating that is.
Yeah. Yeah. And like
that might be grounds for divorce.
Dude, it's so weird.
Can't do that.
So like like Eiserman will surprise us and he'll just come home for a weekend and he'll show up late. And she'll be like, "Well, I really got to go to bed. It's late and I got work in the morning." And I'm like, "Why? You're just going to stay up in bed and toss and turn. Just come downstairs and hang out." And she's like, "No." But her fear of like, "What are you guys talking about?" She doesn't want to miss out on anything, but so she just stays up there and tosses and turns. And then when I do go to bed at like 1 or 2 in the morning, she's still up. It's the weirdest thing. She's got a lot of like weird OCD tics like that.
Do you watch Bailin' Out Loud?
Bailin'?
You haven't watched that?
No.
Well, what you brought up tics, which made me think of it. It's a hot new show on HBO.
Yeah.
Called Bailin' Out Loud. Her name is Bailin', and she has Tourette's.
Ah.
And it's a reality show. It follows her and her fiance and their family and how they deal with Tourette's.
Yeah.
It's actually quite informative regarding Tourette syndrome.
Yeah, because Tourette's all we know is like you're shouting swear words and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
not-
kind of funny. Like her tics are kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I can't repeat any of them
Yeah.
because they're quite filthy. But anyway, yeah, it's actually. Hear me now, believe me later.
Okay.
It's not a bad show.
But it is it's a documentary reality type show, right?
It's not a documentary. It's a reality.
It's a reality show.
And they're just a regular family. They live in Virginia, Washington D.C. area.
And it's on HBO. You said
It's on HBO. Called Bailing Out Loud.
Okay. Well, the BTJ doesn't have those kind of tics. She just is very particular about, like, she can't shut her brain down. So the idea that we could be downstairs having fun and talking, and she's missing out on that, she cannot sleep. But she also can't just accept the fact to come downstairs and hang out because she knows she has to go to bed. And it makes no sense. I'm like, do one or the other. And yet she lives in this weird limbo.
Tell you what, she needs to figure that ass out. If I'm living with her,
So she'll be like,
I can't handle that.
yeah, she'll be like, I'm going to bed. And I'll be like, I'll be up in a minute. And then I'm like, yeah, because if I'm down there for like a half hour, I know she's just upstairs, just tossing and turning, waiting for me to come upstairs. So I have a bedtime. I don't have to be asleep, but I need to be in bed so that she can fall asleep.
You know what you need to do? You need to get yourself a sexy stunt double.
There you go.
Like a blow-up doll.
Well, we need one of those, like the backup, like, they're doing the commercials now, like Mitch Trubisky backup husband. I do. I need to hire someone to just lay in bed at night and just have her like butt up against him. She really just wants to shove her butt against somebody and then like be able to slap someone when she rolls over.
All right, well, there's another showdown. Another regrettable performance.
Let's head out into the war-torn streets of Portland.
Yeah, I'll see if we can make it home tonight. I don't know. Pray for us. Thanks to Casey filling in there. Are we going to see you again, or are you? What's going on with young Casey?
I'll be around.
Yeah,
I'm doing the firm tomorrow.
Okay, so you're kind of the new fill-in guy.
Yep.
We have a new one too.
Really?
We've got Brad, I think.
Brad?
Brandon? Yeah.
Brandon.
He's a BYU guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right. Haven't met him yet.
Mm-hmm. Met him today.
Building some depth around
I think
here.
Dusty's a little nervous.
Why?
BYU guy. Dusty's afraid that I'm going to cause an HR situation.
Oh, God. Which you probably are.
He seemed pretty wholesome.
Casey, thank you for filling in. Appreciate it.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Lowercase.
And, the Schnitzel Wolf is back tomorrow. We'll also have Joey Harrington on the show. We'll see you then. 3 to 7 on the Fan. Good night.
Red ships of Spain. Red ships of Spain.
This weekend, don't miss your opportunity to see Winterhawks history. The team is announcing its top 50 Winterhawks of all time, starting with spots 50 to 41 this Saturday at 6 p.m. See Portland legends from across the eras back in the Glass Palace for a night of commemoration and hockey. After the ceremony, the Winterhawks and Spokane Chiefs drop the puck. Come see